All right, here we go.
Yes.
Welcome to Lexington, Kentucky for a special edition of Friday Night Lights. Because first of all, it's back to Monday Night Lights normally, but we're broadcasting on a Friday now. And second of all, I'm in the BBB, or the Kentucky Esports facility for the Bluegrass Boost Battle LAN, which I've got the man himself
What's up,
with
man?
BUB. I got Graydon with me. Great, how you doing?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. First of all, I'm really excited for this match, but second of all, I am so excited for BB this weekend. I think I shared it last time, but man, this is a special passion project of mine. Is to see it turn into what it is now, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. So it's gotten a lot better every single semester, and man, I'm really excited for this one too. So.
Oh. Well, we are in a side room this time. This is not the main casting room.
Yep.
That's being used for a fighting games tournament tonight. So we're shut off to the side a little bit. We've got a dope screen with the schedule and all that. Like I'm hyped about that. It makes me feel like I'm back in Auburn, like Friday Night Lights used to be. But this is going to be exciting, Green. We got Kentucky and Cumberland first up. I know you're very familiar with one of these teams for sure. Cumberland was here last semester for BBB, so you got a little bit of insight for both teams.
100%. So actually, Cumberland's been coming around for a while. They've been coming around to BBBs for maybe since like the first two. I met Coach Claypool forever ago. So it's very exciting to have them here. They love coming here as far as I know. And yeah, I'm also very familiar with this Kentucky team, obviously. I'm a little bit more familiar with this new roster as well. So I'm sure you've mentioned it before, but yeah, they're coming in with a pretty new roster. Obviously Apples with that mainstay, but we got Chip and Huds this semester. So Huds was the sub, I believe, for A team, and Chip was the captain of the B team. So we'll see what they're able to do against Cumberland. I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Kentucky has been they've been surprising me, honestly. In the SEL especially, which is where, I've watched them the majority of the time. I was expecting a down semester for them, but they've got some good wins. They've started off fairly hot. They're in the group of death in the SEL with King, Oklahoma, Auburn, Clemson, a lot of teams fighting for top 16 in the spring of the SEL, but they've done really, really well. So I'm pitting them against Cumberland, who was a top 6 team last semester in the SEL. And Cumberland's playing online, so Kentucky has the LAN advantage. But Cumberland, I think, are definitely the favorites here. Though Apples is scoring first, so maybe not.
That's a nice shot. That's a really good pass from, I believe, Huds across the middle of the field. I love the way he left that and faked that for Apples. That was a perfect read by the team.
Absolutely, and passing plays, seeing that already out of Kentucky, that excites me. You get that team chemistry going early on in the best of 7. Now they can be fist bumping each other at the LAN sub after they score.
Yeah, this is really exciting. Just first 45 seconds, seeing how they're going to play. Hopefully, it's a show for the rest of the tournament, for the rest of tonight at least. Also for the tournament that's coming up this weekend. So.
And that's the point of these show matches tonight, is to preview BBB. And I mean, we got 4 big groups of 5 playing for a spot in day 2, and all that action is going to be tomorrow on the Kentucky Esports channel, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll be on the Twitch.tv/University of KY, and then oh, never mind. I was going to drop a secondary stream. Nice shot from Chip. I cannot believe that went through. I believe this should have been saved, but I actually not paying a bunch of attention.
Okay, Magic's there. And
we got bumped.
Huds was upfield, taking Magic out of the play. Okay, Kentucky, that's 2 great team plays already. That one, a bumping team play. The one prior was a straight-up infield passing play. But Kentucky, 2-0 up over Cumberland in the first minute 30.
And I love to see that from Huds. That is not generally where Huds likes to play, at least from what I've seen. So to see him upfield, bumping, and placing, good shot by Magic right there. That was a tough save. I mean, that's a really good ball from Skyline. Fake.
And he just left that for Magic. And Chipmunk Man tried to get up for it. Tough save to make. Great shot by Magic. And so Cumberland getting a little something back. Maybe just taking the first 90 seconds to warm up a touch. And we'll see the Phoenix a little more unlocked as Chipmunk Man flies past that ball. So that allows Magic another chance here. He'll take to the skies, force Apples up on low boost. Cumberland should have a really good chance of setting up possession right here.
Yeah, and I think actually, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart.
I know. You've been setting up for BB all week pretty much. So no pressure, no pressure right now. But your boys are getting scored on again.
Come on, guys.
That's 2-2. Super Smurf, the newest addition to Cumberland, is the one scoring here, and Chipmunk Man just kind of gave that to him, and then Apples got caught out as the 3rd man.
Yeah, I was looking at some of these RL trackers earlier, just verifying a couple things, and I saw that Super Smurf has jumped up in MMR since the last time he played here. He was averaging around 1,1700, but now he's around 1,950.
I didn't even realize that. Wow.
Yeah, so Super Smurf has been on his grind, which I really respect and appreciate.
I mean, I remember last BBB, and that was the only exposure I'd ever gotten to Super Smurf, because he played on Cumberland Black, who got a main stage stream at the last BBB, and so I was impressed. He was definitely the standout player on the Cumberland B team, but it's a B team, so you never really know what that means when a player stands out of the roster. But Super Smurf, evidently, based on his RL tracker, like you said, has been grinding and has really looked good. This Cumberland team took Florida State, who right now is a top 2 team in the SEL, in my opinion, to Game 7 on my stream, and then Game 5 on the SEL stream. Wow. So Cumberland's right up there, even subbing out Aurora for Super Smurf. So the change so far is looking good.
Yeah, no, I mean, the way Aurora fit into that team I thought was great. I actually thought they played pretty well together. But it looks like the coach or the team thought differently. And I don't know, it seems like it's been showing, at least from the SEL results and from the Monday Night Lights results too.
Absolutely is, and we'll see how they play on LAN. I think they were out top 12, or either didn't make top 2 or didn't make day 2 last time. It was some down result for Cumberland, and they're down again in game 1 of their Friday Night Lights show match. Huds is going to be scoring for the first time in this game, and it's Apples this time up front clearing the lane.
Wow. Both of his teammates in net. That's a pretty risky ball to go for, but I love it. I mean, he saw the opening, so it's, it wasn't super scary. But if you don't hit that, it's probably a goal the other way. So nice shot by Huds.
Oh, and Skyline almost got it back right there, but Hud dives back for 2 saves,
that was really speedy.
beating Cumberland back to that ball twice, and that leads to a clear for the Wildcats. That was some real nice defense from Huds following his opening goal.
There was, and Huds is a fantastic player. I think his issue, he always says it himself, is he doesn't commit enough time to the game. But recently, prepping for BBB, he's committed a lot of time. So I think he could be one of the shining players in the upcoming tournament.
I mean, this new look Kentucky roster, I wasn't sure what to expect from them. But Huds, so far, they've looked solid. They 3-0'd Oklahoma on the main SEL stream to start off their season on broadcast. So I know they can get big wins and big moments. That was one of them. But right now, they're holding on narrowly to a 1-goal lead against Cumberland right now, as the Phoenix are looking to steal back potentially this game, as they've been down for the bulk of it.
They are, and I know results-wise, both of these teams seem pretty even. But I actually really would not be extremely surprised if Kentucky pulls out a win here. The way that they've been playing and the amount of hours they've been putting in, I think can really show, and they could make a couple teams scared here by the result. So.
Still a good start, and Kentucky's adding on more pressure here at the end of the game when Cumberland's the team. They'd be putting shots on target. Instead, they're making magic, and Super Smurf play that ball super awkwardly and right in front of the net. So it's going to have to be a 0-second play, it's looking like, for the Cumberland Phoenix. And Hud's trying to ground the ball, forces Magic to do it for him, and that's game 1, Kentucky. What a start.
Yeah, that was a great start for Kentucky. Honestly, I don't think that Cumberland played relatively bad. Kentucky, honestly, was just outpacing them. They were playing a lot faster and a lot better in that game specifically.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you want to start off a series. As I feel like the underdogs in Kentucky are in this series, you want to set that pace early on. I mean, 8 shots to 5, that's great for the Wildcats. If they can keep doing that, it's a long series, this best of 7, so if they can keep doing that is a big question against Cumberland. But if they can keep doing that and force Cumberland to play that amount of defense again, then they should be in a good spot going forward.
They should be. So we'll see how Cumberland's able to respond to this. I love the pressure they have started this game with. They were able to convert from even pretty quickly, I believe, on the kickoff. So I love the way he's slowing down this ball. I really think that will be the way that Cumberland's able to break out from a lot more of these defensive halves. But if Kentucky keeps demoing, then it might be a lot more tough.
No kidding. I mean, 2 goals in the last game came from demo and bump plays. And Kentucky's hold on to possession super nicely. Chipmunk man, massive dunk at the midfield line, and 30 seconds in, Kentucky scoring again.
Yeah, I don't know if you met Chip, but he has big muscles. And you can tell right here. I mean, that is just a huge play by Chip. And he's also a person that can pipe up when he needs to. So I think all 3 of these players have a huge potential to be able to be great, to maybe not quite win this tournament, but they can definitely make it out of their group. And I watched your video this morning about, your expectations for this. It seems like you and DJ had a little bit of, I don't know, you didn't agree with each other very much, at least in this group.
Yeah.
Who was going to make it in those top 2nd and 3rd places right there?
I mean, Kentucky's group is kind of stacked. King, Cincinnati, Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, and the Cumberland Black, who's still a really good team. So I think of the 4 groups, that one is the most competitive all the way through. I think the other 3 kind of segment themselves, top and bottom, but right here, like Kentucky's group, all 5, I think have a chance at making it out of their group.
Yeah, 100%. NKU and Kentucky always have this tradition of scrimming, like right before BBB. But since they're in the same group, they have decided mutually to not scrim. So I'm excited to see that match. They haven't played in a couple of weeks together against each other, so And when they did play, and I believe actually the BBB qualifiers, NKU took that in a game 5. Oh my! Oh, Huds.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
We'll stop talking land for a second, because Apple just made a crazy save on the goal line that Huds almost followed up with an own goal. But Kentucky, they are defending with like their lives depend on it right now. Huds, another block. That was basically a free shot for Super Smurf, and Huds was able to find the block again right there. Magic dump off past the skyline. That shot is finally going to break through, but Cumberland had to work for their first goal in game 2.
They did. They piled on the pressure on that defensive half of Kentucky, and it eventually led to a goal. So, good on them to maintain the rotations, cut half when they needed to. I think they played that perfectly. Kentucky was making some good saves, too.
That's the name of the game right now, it feels like. It is the possession game, because when Kentucky's controlling the possession, they're the ones doing the bulk of the scoring. 5 goals so far in this series. But Apples! A short possession that results in his second goal. What a double for the captain.
Yeah, that was really nice. I actually love the dump from Chip, and Apples, that was a really nice shot. It was a bouncer, which is kind of his whole thing. He loves bouncer shots because, they are awkward for the defense. I know you experience them too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Gosh, bouncer shots are so frustrating when they go in because they're so slow. But then they're perfect. They go right over your head. So it's a good shot. I don't expect that to be the last bouncer shot of Apple's from this season.
He's used to hitting clips on Friday Night Lights, because I remember last semester, the FNL we did before BBB, he had a ceiling pinch that went in. And I swear he showed that clip to just about everyone he saw that weekend, because it was worth showing to everyone. It was a crazy clip.
He still talks about that. He's like, that's probably the best shot I've ever hit in the history, which I love. All right, we'll get back into the game. Sorry for chatting up a little bit.
That's all right. It's a chill stream. I know these guys are definitely taking it seriously right now, because they got to get ready for the LAN tomorrow. But we're just having fun in the booth right now. Skyline going to get an answer. Again, he's the only one who's been doing any scoring in this game. Magic's going to assist that one, but I was just a straight up perfect 50-50 for him off the side wall, and Skyline was ready to slot it.
Absolute slot, just like you said. The way he was able to angle his car was not easy. It looks like maybe an easy goal on stream, but man, that is really tough technically to do.
I'm not sure what that kickoff was, but it's going to result in an interception and a goal for Magic.
It's actually off. Oh, nice shot, Magic. Hey, you got to respect that, especially with 0 boost. What are you going to do?
Look at this. He takes it, knows it's off target, sticks with it, and Chipmunk Man is dusted right there to Magic, who was just feathering his boost to get back to that.
Yep, that's a great shot by Magic. That could go up, that could go out, that could go literally anywhere, and he was able to find the right spot to put his car to double that in. So, great shot. Now we're tied up 3-3 with Kentucky on the back foot now.
This is actually a heater of a series so far. The last game being a 1-goal affair. 3-2. This one 6 goals in the first 3 minutes. Apples is trying to add to it. Just going to poke that ball into Cumberland territory. But Magic and Skyline moving up front together. And Apples in an awkward spot at the moment. It's to hop up the near side wall. Skyline can't get a second touch on that ball, but Cumberland's found themselves possession, and typically in this series, when they've found possession, they've been able to score. It's just been a matter of keeping hold of that ball, which they can't do right here.
Yeah, I don't know if you're noticing the same thing, but it seems like when Kentucky's on defense, the rotations seem a little bit weird sometimes, and they seem a little bit spaced weirdly. Like somebody's either too far back or they're almost double committing. It's how far forward they are. So I think if they're able to clean that up, they might be able to take a couple more games of the series.
Those awkward defensive rotations, though, feel like they're working against Cumberland, who don't seem to know how to play around that. And so maybe that awkwardness is helping them at the moment, because they're making the reads on the goal line they have to make. But that's probably not going to work once Cumberland starts realizing what's going on. And it seems like that's the case. 3 goals scored here for the Phoenix. They need 1 more if they're going to win it in regulation. Otherwise, we're going to see in overtime. And Cumberland have really flipped the field at the moment. Wow. But that's a massive dunk from Chipmunk Man. That's just straight up in. Are you kidding me? Chipmunk Man again scored a crazy goal.
That is nuts. I cannot believe he even went for that ball, let alone it goes in. Sometimes you got to go for those reads, especially in 3v3. There's so much space on the defensive half to be able to do stuff like that. but it was very ballsy.
I mean, that's a play that I would yell at my Huntington guys for going for. I'm
Yeah.
like, go for the demo there. Don't try that dunk because you're not going to get that dunk. But it was just played right into his car, and then it got played right into the net. Kentucky's just, they got the Rocket League gods on their side right now.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say it was an overall super nice shot, but I would say more of a misplay from Cumberland.
Yeah.
Which, if they clean up, they would probably be ahead in this game because they have been forcing a lot of pressure during that time. So, it's not a great touch from Apples.
Oh!
Good shot from Skyline.
4-4 Cumberland.
Wow, 2 seconds left.
By way of a hat trick from Skyline in this game, are going to tie us up. And just when you thought Kentucky had snatched that game one from the jaws of defeat or overtime, it goes right back to those jaws of overtime. 2 seconds left for someone to do something, or else we get another kickoff, which we do.
All right, as we start into overtime here, I'm really excited to see how this kickoff goes because there's been some weird plays going on, but it seems like it's a relatively normal freeze kickoff, depending on what you consider that as.
Huds had cheaped up pretty aggressively right there with 0 boost, but it works out. Kentucky's able to push back Cumberland for a sec. So Skyline right back to it, wants to win. He's got 3 of the 4 goals so far in this game, but Magic and Super Smurf both going up right there. So Skyline has to turn on this ball with 12 boost in the tank, and he got enough momentum to cause a little bit of havoc on the goal line for Kentucky. That opens up Super Smurf for the double. Cumberland tie up the series.
And I would like to make mention of all the esports decals we see. I'm pretty sure 5 of the 6 players are wearing esports decals, which, I think is pretty sick. We got a G2 one on the Kentucky side. We got a couple Gen G ones. We got a G2 one, so the Gentlemates.
Yeah, right there. Full team of esports decals.
Yep.
And I know Apples is, I think, in the Gen G one as well.
He is. Chip's in a G2 one. Huds is the only one wearing a pretty default Fennec. So.
Wow, Huds. He didn't get the memo, the fashion memo for this series that we were only rocking esports decals.
Yeah, I guess so. We got 2 Gen G ones. Shout out Gen G.
Gotta shout out Gen G.
Which they did well today. I don't know if you watched RLCS or not.
I was driving the whole time, so I kept up with it, but where'd they go? 3-0, 3-1?
3-1. I lost to M80 3-0, which M80 had a really good day today.
So did G2 and M80 both go 3-0 again?
They did.
Okay,
They did.
so M80's going to lose in round 1 of playoffs.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's what Joria's does.
That's actually true.
But anyway, outside of RLCS, back to the collegiate show matches. Kentucky lost that one at the last second.
Yeah.
And so we're tied up 1-1 here in this best of 7, and it really feels like Cumberland's offense is picking up steam.
Yeah, no, Cumberland's offense, I think, is probably where they'll thrive if they're able to maintain the pressure that they're able to keep, because they have great shots. They're able to put good stuff on net. It's just getting into their opponent's half, I think, is the issue they've run into the past couple of games. So if they're able to maintain some more pressure and generate those great shots again and again, then Kentucky's going to have a really tough time getting over that.
Absolutely, because that last game was a shootout, and Cumberland, even with the limited possession, was still able to find 5 goals against the Wildcats. Skyline is feeling it right now. I'm pretty sure all 3 Cumberland players are playing together right now at the Cumberland facility, as typically Skyline is a remote player for them, and I know he's there traveling with the team tomorrow. And so they've also kind of got the LAN buff, maybe not like the LAN buff that you get from playing at the Kentucky facility, but they still got a LAN buff.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've ever visited Cumberland or anything or seen anything about it. They have a really nice facility with really nice, a pretty amazing program down there. So they probably are feeling very, very LAN heavy, which is nice. So they always have that kind of buff. So, but Kentucky, on the other hand, does not play LAN very often. They prefer to play at home. So we'll see if they're able to turn this series into having that official Kentucky LAN buff, and then maybe make that into way tomorrow too.
I mean, their offense so far has definitely been feeling that LAN buff, but I think those awkward defensive rotations are catching up to them that you were talking about, Graydon, because giving up, 7 goals in the first 2 games, make that 8. Oh. Magic slamming that ball off the post and in. Cumberland, they're starting to exploit every gap in the Kentucky defense.
And look at the placement on that. If he shot that anywhere besides where he shot it, that's safe. That really just is safe. Besides maybe top left, but man, that's perfect for Magic right there.
All right, 1-0. Cumberland's on a spree right now. The goal with 2 seconds left, the overtime goal, and now the first blood goal in game 3. Not enough power on that touch for Magic, but I'm loving what they're going for right now. Cumberland look confident.
I cannot believe that he's backing that ball, but it's actually a great hit. All these fakes. I think Cumberland has thrown in these fakes on purpose, because I've seen a lot of them happen over the past couple of games, where they, will go for the ball and then intentionally call for fake, which, in my opinion, is probably like the future of RLCS,
or
Professional Rocket League. It's already happening this season, but just trying to perfect that whole mechanic would probably be a very big thing in competitive.
I think it's the presence of the RLCS, but it's the future of collegiate.
Sure,
all of these players catching up with that sort of thing.
But good shot.
There's a play from the past, the air dribble bump, meta of about 4 years ago. It still works. Huds, he follows his own ball, is able to tag Skyline right there as he tries to save it off the back wall.
What are you going to do to get around that? That's just like the perfect play. Remember when they used to call that shot unsavable? It pretty much still is unsavable, but there are a lot more tactics nowadays to at least try to get around it. But I don't know, Huds played that perfectly, especially with Skyline on the back wall. Really tough.
Skyline almost got out of it. Huds was just perfect on the bump, and Skyline's positioning right there coming off, like kind of the middle of the back wall instead of down on the ball, and trying to force Huds to come from underneath the ball or come from the ground to get underneath Huds and pop the ball up. He was just in an awful spot. He was Huds level to try and get out of that bump. So that was tough to save it, and it works out. And after seeing a 9-goal game in game 2, it's 1-1 right now. This is a chance with a 2v1 going the other way, but Magic makes it a 2v2, interferes with Huds right there. He's able to break up the Kentucky play.
Apple with a great control right there to get it into the Cumberland half, hopefully for a decent amount of time here. No bias. A little bit of bias.
Of course not.
But we'll see how they're able to, manage this pressure. Cumberland did a really good job of getting out there. I love how Skyline positioned upfield, trusting his teammates on defense right there.
Yeah, and it almost works out, but Kentucky's still breaking out with demo plays, aggressive rotations. Chip almost got caught out right there, but is able to hustle back and grab that ball off the back wall. It's another beat from Friable Apples, leaves Huds in a 1v1, but that ball way out in front gives Magic the advantage. So Cumberland, they're able to get out right here, but it's slow and steady. Skyline, the lead blocker for Magic, unable to find any bumps or demos right there to clear a lane.
Yeah, and they had a bump earlier. Wow, that might be a goal. There's no way, right? Oh my gosh. 23 seconds left. That's a good shot, by the way, from Super Smart. You gotta respect it.
It's good, but it was so free. Huds, I guess, just affected by that touch from Chipmunk Man, and as the third man, he tried to half flip back into position, but there was no getting back right there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. As Bud, what do you do? I think that's just an unfortunate touch from Chip. And Apples was positioned up to obviously not for a missed touch, but happens to the best of us. So we'll see if they're able to make anything of these last 12 seconds. It's not looking likely as Skyline puts a nice shot in. Yeah.
They put it on ice.
Yeah, this is the offense you were talking about from Cumberland. If Kentucky makes one misplay on defense, they're not positioned well enough to actually recover from something like that. And then Cumberland's obviously 100 times out of 100 going to take advantage of that. So.
And this is where Cumberland has started to read Kentucky in defense for sure. Now they have the speed to make plays like that happen. So Cumberland's going to make it 2-1 here in this best of 7. Solid game from them, especially defensively.
Yep.
After Kentucky was able to put up 7 goals in the first 2 games as well. And so Cumberland, they shore up their back line, and look at that, just 4 shots from Kentucky in that game.
Yeah, 4 to Cumberland's 6, but Cumberland was able to convert a lot more of theirs, obviously. They made about half of theirs, while Kentucky only made about a fourth of theirs. So Kentucky's going to have to start, honestly, in my opinion, I think they need to put Apples more on the offensive half of things. Chip and Huds are good at wasting time on defense. It's just they can't generate great offensive pressure. They got a goal there, but I believe it was it the dunk? Chip's dunk?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So they're going to need to have somebody just push a little bit more up and ready for some more passes on the offensive half to get something going.
All right, Chip right there tried to intercept the Cumberland passing play, but didn't quite pan out as his touch went laterally instead of into the Cumberland half. So now he's awkward in defense, and Super Smurf there for the finish. And is that Super Smurf's first, or he hasn't scored much in this series? First, second, or third, kind of in that range, I think, for Smurf.
Yeah. Which he could be the main offensive guy. I mean, like, I really think if they put him up more in that same exact spot, he's going to be scoring all the time. So.
I mean, it feels like for Cumberland, with this new roster, they're playing a lot of their offense through Skyline.
Yeah.
And so he's that first man kind of creating space. I can definitely see Super Smurf having a lot of getting a lot of opportunities out of that, just as like the finisher in the play. I mean, look at that right there, Skyline, crazy pass, and Super Smurf's there, and if the defense is even a little bit awkward because of that pass, that's probably a goal. But Kentucky read it fairly well. They get a clear and a chance that goes a little bit too high right there.
Yeah, I mean, Chip he's at the right spots, but I don't think he's able to get the touches he's wanting to, at least right now. See, like, I thought the positioning right there was fine, but that might be the call. Like, it looks like he changed cars to, I don't even know what that is. Is that a Lamborghini?
Yeah, that's the Lamborghini.
And, you know, I mean, this is not super uncommon in, like, RLCS, at least recently. For some reason, people have been using some of these more, like, fun cars. Because I don't know if their flex mentality, like, is going through, but I don't know, people have been using waffle cars.
I mean, if they can use like the Dominus hitbox, that plank hitbox, I'm pretty sure the Lamborghini has, then I mean, go for it.
Sure,
like a lot of players have that in their back pocket. They just typically choose not to rock with it. So I'm glad to see it. Like, I mean, it's resulted in a goal, kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like Apple's demo was kind of what created that, but it was still Chipmunk Man scoring it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good shot from Chip too. You can't take it. We'll see what they're able to do on the defensive half. See, double commit because of how awkward the rotation was. But I know they're going to be able to clean it up. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say I know. from that play from Hutt there. Apples is usually that defensive guy, or at least he has been on the Kentucky team. I mean, it depends on the series, sure, but I think he prefers to play that more back role because he trusts himself a lot more in defense. So if that's the role that he's going to want to take here, then they're going to have to figure out something comp-wise, you know, to put other people on offense. And just like that, good shot from Chip. I believe somebody missed on the backboard to create an opening here.
So Hutt starts it off with a 50. Apples, just forces the miss out of Magic. And hey, Chip's there for the finish. Kentucky's going to snag themselves a lead. But to your point, I feel like with Apples preferring to play defensively, like when he had Ty, that was so much easier.
Yeah.
Because Ty can create so much space for you. And so it's either got to be a play style change or either Chip or Huz have to step up and be that mechanical player that Ty used to be for Kentucky. Like Cumberland's got right now. Skyline and Magic both kind of playing that role, that up front man role, and setting up the two others on the Phoenix roster to score these goals, which Huz... great setup. He just nailed a Friable Apples right there, and it results in a Cumberland goal. I hope they show that again. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if he went for a musty bump or what exactly happened there, but it resulted in the goal the other way.
Well, great counterattack by Cumberland right there.
Sure.
Gotta give them props for that. Nabbing the demo as the front man right there. And so we're tied now. Cumberland. They gave up those 2 straight goals to Kentucky, and now they're slowly starting to work their way out of that deficit into more and more possession, more and more awkward spots for the Wildcats. But that's a nice touch. That Skyline is ready for somehow at the midfield line.
Yeah, and then Apples was ready for his touch. So I guess maybe they just saw something we did, but I did not expect that mid-touch to happen. Shit. That's a good touch. I think Hutz could potentially at least get this mid for Apples. Oh, almost that. You know that Zen touch where it like comes off the backboard and free flips? Oh, that's what I saw happening in my head.
That's what he was going for, it looked like. Just another awkward touch to force Cumberland to miss. But
what is happening?
Kentucky overcommitted a little bit there in offense, going for a crazy backboard play. Chipmunk Man's on the far side, rotating back. Huds gets Goomba stomped right there. Great demo again. I think it's Apples that was taken out in the midfield this time. But Cumberland, they're just kind of waiting for Kentucky to overextend an offense and then punishing them in counterattack mode.
Yeah, they are. And Kentucky is having the same issues they were in game 2, I believe, with the defensive half rotations. So maybe they just need to start going for it and trying to get some of this offense going and then just let their defense hang. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the actual fix is to what's happening, but if this continues going on, like the way these play styles are going on, I do think Cumberland's going to be able to take this one pretty easily.
Their offense has been on this whole series, Cumberland's, and they've been slowly but surely stopping Kentucky more and more in that Cumberland end. And with chances like those, if Kentucky's offense isn't on right now, they're not going to catch up to Cumberland because the passing plays out of this corner have been phenomenal, especially coming off of Magic's front bunker.
Wow, I mean, he called the mid. Skyline was perfectly positioned for exactly where that ball was going to be. I mean, there's not much else you can do, really. Like, that was absolutely perfect from Cumberland. On the defensive half, I mean, yeah, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah. Kentucky's going to have to figure out how to stop the Phoenix at the moment because they are seriously cooking. Another bump play, making contact with Kentucky. That turns to a shot from Super Smurf. It's just a little bit off target, but he still salvages it. Doesn't allow Kentucky well, I thought that was going to be a slow counterattack, but they put the ball right on the Cumberland line. Doesn't result in a goal, and in fact, the passing play from the Phoenix again in the midfield. They are crisp right now connecting with the passes.
I love that transition defense from Cumberland. The way they played that was what I think every other team could be doing. And that was a dive save from Apples. Barely got back to it, but it was perfect. It was a really nice shot. A really nice save.
All right, Magic, what you got for us? Taking to the skies. He's got Skyline shooting off the crossbar. His shot goes, and the slow touch right there from Super Smurf is no good. 4-2. Looking like it's going to be the final unless Cumberland has something crazy for us in the final moments, and Magic has exactly that. He gets himself an air dribble off the sidewall, and the Phoenix had one more.
All right, Magic, I'm not going to lie. That was a little gross. You shouldn't be doing that to him. Down by 2, 7 seconds left. I mean, what are they supposed to do? So, yeah, nice shot from Cumberland. I don't believe Kentucky's going to be able to bring this back. But crazier things have happened. Oh, well. With that kickoff, it's all said and done. Cumberland's going to go up 3-1 in this series. What do you think Kentucky needs to do here? I know I've offered my opinions a little bit too much, but what do you think Kentucky needs to do here to take back the next game?
Well, the play style change in offense did not work. They went for a more aggressive style, I felt like, and Cumberland finally started reading that. It worked in the first couple of games for the Wildcats, but right there, it didn't. They gave up a lot of transitions to Cumberland, 14 shots for the Phoenix. They've got to clean up the defensive rotations. They've got to cut out those passing plays a little bit sooner, read them as they're happening or read them before they're happening instead of as they're happening. Yeah. A lot of defensive adjustments for Kentucky going forward if they're going to pull back this series.
Yeah, I mean, they have the talent to. I mean, I think all three of these players could arguably be better than all three of the players on Cumberland. But I mean, I don't actually believe that. But
I like the bias, though.
Yeah. I'm trying. Maybe I'm trying too hard. I don't know.
I mean, you got to be confident in Kentucky. Like, I really think they have a decently high ceiling.
Yeah.
It's just right now the floor slipping out from underneath them. They've given up. I don't have my notebook on me right now, but Cumberland has scored, I think, 3+ goals in I think every game in this series except for game 1.
Yeah. I mean, they have. And you're right. You're perfectly on track with they need to clean up that defensive rotation. I think that could be the start of something potentially good and new with the demos. Because, I mean, if you can't stop them, get rid of them. I mean, I guess might be the only way that they can figure it out.
That has worked for them in this series. Those demo plays on the goal line.
Yep.
And so we'll see if it continues to work. But given Magic Space has not worked, so Chipmunk Man going to be cutting that play out. But again, Kentucky overextending there in offense. And Skyland's there to punish. That's a great find by Super Smurf. Yeah. Winning that ball right outside the box, and Huds crept up as the third man. You can't do that against Cumberland.
I mean, that's a great pass, great shot. Sheesh, man. Yeah, you're right. I think Huds was a little bit too far forward as the third man. It's the same issues they've been running into. If they're able to clean up just a couple of these small errors, I really do think they're going to be able to take this game. But, that's a tough shot. And I like the way Apples played that around the defense, but it was not able to turn into anything productive, especially when they're all three in the same corner. It's going to be really hard to get any offense going when you're all in the same spot.
Apples was given a free access to the ball right here, and he forces 2 up for Cumberland. But Skyline paying back the favor that Super Smurf did him with the first goal in this game with a nice passing play out of defense. And Magic's gonna have the midfield line locked down. Super Smurf pre-jumping that ball. Now taking it to the ground. If that bump lands and Huds isn't ready to jump on that ball, it's probably a second goal for Cumberland, but they're the ones employing bumps and demos right now to great success.
Yeah, and it's working perfectly. I mean, they've kept Kentucky in this defensive half for a pretty decent amount of time, and Apples clears it out, so they're able to get some breathing room, some boost, but just as I say that, 2 of them have committed, and now Chip's last back.
Oh, and he's forced up, but hey, that pre-jump works. Again, Cumberland getting aggressive on the Kentucky goal line, but right there, Chipmunk Man does well, and he gives a little return of service to Skyline, bumping him on the goal line. But Cumberland is maintaining possession very nicely here. And of course, the Chipmunk Man that tries to disrupt that with a great interception, but it heads right back to the blue end of the pitch, and Kentucky's playing defense again.
Yeah, I don't think Kentucky needs to be rushing or, being worried. They're only down by a goal, and a goal can happen literally at any second. So there's no reason for them to force. Oh my!
Whoa!
Oh, good save from Apples. Like I was saying, there's no need for them to really force anything, but I do think they need to start to try to get on the offensive half of things. I mean, they have been locked in this defensive half for the past couple 30 seconds or so.
And Cumberland is all over punishing mistakes like that triple commit, but actually they're going to keep possession here because Skyline was playing back. He has a little bit of boost, and it sets up a slowdown of the Kentucky counterattack, but Wildcats still gain access to offense here. Chip leaving that one alone. Back to Apples. He plays it to himself out of the corner, but Magic home on the goal line makes that read with ease.
Yeah, it was a decent shot, but I think Apples probably needed to get that to a teammate or get that mid. Oh my gosh, good shot from Skyline. I mean, they are just clicking on all cylinders right now. Man, what are you going to do? That's a great dunk from Super Smurf in the corner there. Skyline absolutely slots it. It's exactly where he slotted it last time.
Yep. And it's just been Skyline and Super Smurf this game. It's been their show. They've been owning it with the passing plays. And Kentucky's going to get one back here with the kickoff goal. And all right, just like that, it's a 1-goal game again.
I feel like this didn't used to happen in threes very often, kickoff goals, but I mean, strats evolve, metas evolve, so I love seeing this kind of stuff. It's actually pretty interesting that there was nobody even in defense for when there could have been in theory for Cumberland.
Yeah, they just played that aggressive cheat, same as Kentucky, but the ball bounced perfectly towards Chip's car, and so we see a scoreline brought back to just a 1-goal differential between the two squads. Cumberland on match point, and they want to keep it there. They want to end the series, and well, back to an insurance goal lead for the Phoenix as they will stay on match point and stay with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that's definitely what you like to see. If you're Cumberland, if you're Kentucky, you're getting a little bit nervous about the time here. But the only thing you can do is play confident. If you start to play nervous, then the series will be over and you'll have absolutely no chance. So I think if anything, they need to just go with full confidence. And if they get scored on a couple more times, it is what it is. But this is the time to iron out all of those potential defensive mistakes. So I think playing aggressive and playing very strong would never be a bad thing.
I mean, for both these teams, they're playing one of the higher seeds in the tournament. Actually, Kentucky playing one of the higher seeds in the tournament. Cumberland's the 7th seed in BBB this weekend, and they're playing them close. Like, there are mistakes there, yes, but they're making good plays like this.
Yeah, that was a great shot from Apples. Good, I think 50 from Chip, question mark. I believe that's what happened.
I was looking at the groups. I don't even know, but the ball pops out to Apples, and that's a pretty good play. If you're Kentucky, that'll work a good chunk of the time. So again, Kentucky gets to a 1-goal lead, and last time we saw this, Cumberland was super quick on the answer. And Super Smurf, fantastic challenge right there. It's going to set up Cumberland once again. Just play their offense out of that same left corner.
Yeah, I was going to go for a 50 here, or a flip reset. Honestly, not what I expected, but I actually love the way he played that around. But again, his team was not quite there, ready for any sort of follow-up. So Cumberland just had pretty cleared. The bouncer! Oh. I love it.
That was
I cannot believe it.
not the shot. I think that Magic and I think it was Skyline on the goal line right here. No, Super Smurf tried to pre-jump it, and Apple's got the lightest touch possible on that double, but he put it on target. And at the end of the day, it's 3-3 again. Kentucky even us up.
Yeah, I mean, the resilience to be able to come back in this game. The resilience to be able to come back in this game 5 has been pretty amazing to see. They have started playing great the past minute for some reason. And I love to see it. I mean, it looks, they're looking great.
They just decided to play better. And I mean, it's showing. They're finding a way through Cumberland's defense again, and things are going to get the last possession, it looks like, of regulation in Game 5. So either we're going to see some more late-game heroics out of Cumberland, or it's going to be another overtime in this best-of-7. Magic playing this ball to the corner, keeps it up for a second longer, but we get OT again between Kentucky and Cumberland.
Yeah, I love to see this, and I think that, I mean, Cumberland has been icy so far, but I think Kentucky has a potential to ice, especially on land together. You know, they might be able to turn this into something and give us a Game 6.
Okay, Apples is last back, and Skyline redirects that ball for the win.
That is a great shot from Skyline.
Oh my! Skyline just called game with this one. What a shot! Apples wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it.
Nah.
But Cumberland take the series 4-1.
Wow, that's a great series from Cumberland. You know, I love the way Kentucky played in the first couple games. I think they kind of fell off a little bit, and Cumberland upgraded. So, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough offense to stop once it got going, and that's a fun preview for this weekend. Because I was looking at Cumberland's group and just kind of refreshing myself with it. Yep. It's UTK, Cumberland, Purdue, Ohio State, and Cincinnati Black.
Yeah.
Which is another really stacked group.
It's a really stacked group. What are you going to, I mean, like, I think a couple BBBs ago, Purdue was in the grand final. So this is, actually, they have one different player, but there's been so much talent upgrade in the past couple of BBBs. So Purdue being the 4 seed made sense to us, you know.
Yeah.
But they're also a phenomenal team, and they could be able to make it out of this group. You know, it's just like whoever plays the best tomorrow is gonna make it into day 2. So
if Cumberland's offense plays like that, they could probably beat the majority of teams in that group. Their defense could use a little work. They got exploited a lot by Kentucky, especially at the beginning of this series. But that offense was something.
Yeah. I mean, UTK is going to be a really tough opponent. But we also haven't seen UTK on land. We have no idea how they're actually going to play tomorrow. I think, you know, looking at the way that they've been playing some of these series, it's been phenomenal. I mean, just Chris is just a totally different player.
Yeah.
You know, I love Hermes. I love Jacob. But Chris was a totally different beast on that team. So that's going to be a tough thing for them, but I don't think that it's unwinnable. You know, Cumberland could come out swinging in that series.
I mean, Georgia State took UTK to Game 5 in the SEL last week, so it's possible to force UTK to the edge in series. But all right, we're gonna go to a break. I've got some more special guests in the booth. Graydon, that's the only series you're doing with me tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, you're gonna be running around BBB tomorrow, so everyone watching is gonna be here. We'll see you. But thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you.
All right, I'm gonna set up real fast the video that I made today and uploaded on YouTube. It's a preview of BBB tomorrow. Made it with DJ TJ, who you're gonna see in the booth with me and Hana tonight. So give me a second as I stall for time to set up my video. This is what happens when I'm at a PC that isn't mine. I gotta take a second to remember where everything is, but all right, I got it. It's about 20 minutes, so you're gonna miss the end of it. Sorry about that. But another series coming up in a bit. Got UAH Blue and Buds from GSU playing next up on Friday Night Lights. See you in a bit. I am very pleased to announce that the Bluegrass Boost Battle is back for the spring of 2024, and I'm so excited. This is probably one of my favorite LANs that I have ever had the privilege of working. I worked it in the fall in Lexington, Kentucky, and BBB was fantastic. And now we're back for the spring, so I'm making a video breaking down all the teams, my expectations, the format, everything I can possibly think of right now, because I didn't write a script or anything for this, so we're just going off the cuff for this video. We'll see what happens. First up, the formats, and this is going to look familiar to those that have watched BBB in the past, because this was definitely the format for the last semester at the very least. But it's 20 teams divided into 4 groups of 5. Round robin play decides the top 3 in each group, with the winners getting a bye into the round of 8 in the single elimination bracket that's played on day 2. Seeds 2 and 3 out of each group are then shuffled up and played in kind of another round of 8 to see who then advances to the 8-team single elimination bracket with those number 1 seeds. Then it's just single elimination from there. You know how that works until we get to our number 1 overall finisher, the winner that takes home a bulk of the $2,500 prize pool that BBB is boasting this semester, which is just awesome. Like, it was $1,500 just last semester, and they've upgraded it by another K, which is unbelievable that this kind of support is being given to these schools. It's 2 thumbs up from me, BBB. Love you. Keep it up. All right, I'm going to start by talking about groups 3 and 4. I'm starting a little backwards here in terms of chronological order because I've got a guest analyst coming in to talk about groups 1 and 2. So I want to break down our 3rd and 4th groups. And the way that these groups are laid out: Group 3 is King University, Cincinnati Red, Northern Kentucky, Kentucky Blue, which is the A team, and Cumberland Black, which is the B team. And this is honestly one of the closer groups. I'm very curious to see how this plays out, because I think Cincinnati honestly could probably play King very close when it comes to deciding who's going to take that group. So 1 and 2 are really up in the air, but 3 through 5, I think the same exact thing. Cumberland Black, Kentucky, and Northern Kentucky are all fairly close in skill level. Personally, I might have Kentucky as the favorites out of those 2 to nab that last 3 spots, and I've got predictions coming up in a little bit, so you'll see that reflected there. But with Kentucky kind of changing up the roster a little bit, playing with Huds, Fern, Chipmunk Man alongside Unfriable Apples, they in the SEL have looked a lot better than I expected them to. They've been playing up to competition very well. Northern Kentucky playing without Toasty this semester, despite being the runners-up from last fall. They are going through a roster revamp right now, with Pig the only returner from the last BBB. So they've still got some sorting out to do. And same deal in the SEL. They've had some decent results, but they're still looking a little shaky in my book. And Cumberland Black, I haven't had the chance to look at yet, but they made a swap with Cumberland Maroon. The roster for Black has now been infused with Aurora, who was previously on Cumberland Maroon, and he's an incredibly mechanical player, so that could be an upgrade for Cumberland Black once he's playing alongside Kenyon in the End of You. So Cumberland Black did fairly well. They beat Maroon last semester with little different variations of the roster, but that should be a very interesting bottom of that group. And King, the reigning champs of BBB, playing without Turbo though this semester. Big Wade has been called up to the starting lineup for this one. You know, he watched last semester's LAN from the booth and the bleachers, because he did join me for that interview, which was a lot of fun. But King, not the same powerhouse they once were, but they're still the number 3 seed overall in this tournament for a reason. Big Wade isn't Turbo, but he's still Big Wade. So King, definitely the favorites in this group. Cincinnati, in the last BBB, actually placed top 8 on that LAN, and they lost to King in the round of 8. So that's not a bad loss for them at all. So could potentially see them getting a little bit of revenge in the 3rd match of Group 3 happening at 2 p.m. So this Group 3, really, really interesting and could be very close at the end of the day. And Group 4, made up of South Carolina, Concord, UAH Blue, Western Kentucky, and Mount Aloysius. Another pretty close one when it comes down to who might be winning this group. I honestly think any one of South Carolina, Concord, and UAH Blue could take the number 1 spot there, depending on who is on the day. I've yet to see UAH Blue play on LAN with this new roster of theirs. Kozin getting called up from UAH White, but they placed top 4 at the last BBB with Camille in the lineup, who I would argue is a lesser player than Kozin, but had insane chemistry with B-More and Josh. So I don't know what to expect out of the Chargers in this group. But South Carolina, the 1 seed, they have been a little shaky on LAN at the past. Even Katz told me, and this was almost a year ago now, but he told me they weren't a great LAN team and had some things to figure out, which they've had 10 months to figure that out since he and I talked about that. But they're the number 1 seed for a reason. Again, they are my favorites to win this group if they don't capitulate on LAN here, which I don't expect them to. But with Concord right behind them, I could see a repeat of last BBB out of Concord, where they won their group. It was a chaotic group 4. Concord topped their group, got UAH White, which is the B team, in the round of 8, and then they played Northern Kentucky in the semifinals. So Concord's a really good team. I think they're returning most of, if not the full same roster from last semester's BBB. So Concord's going to be a threat. And then down at the bottom side of the group in terms of seeding, Western Kentucky, they didn't make playoffs in the last BBB, but still a solid team. Mount Aloysius, I think, is the unknown factor for me. I haven't gotten to watch them play too much, but in the qualifier, they got swept by the Cincinnati B or C team. I'm not sure which one, but either way, they got swept and were one of the last 2 teams to qualify for BBB. So we'll see how they fare in group number 4 here. Now to break down groups 1 and 2, I have got a very special guest analyst making his, I think, official LAN debut as a caster in Mr. DJ TJ. So TJ, go ahead, break down groups 1 and 2 for us.
What's going on, guys? It is DJ TJ, guest analyst chosen by the wonderful MrBepic himself. It is a pleasure to be involved in this, and I'm so excited to see everybody at Bluegrass Boost Battle this weekend. Going into these groups, I was tasked with talking about groups 1 and 2, which is groups A and group B, and we got some interesting ones. So funny enough, this video is being filmed on the 12th of February, and as of yesterday, 2 of Akron's 3 players who are coming to BBB just qualified for RLCS. That, I believe, is both Patty and Bullseye. I mean, incredibly talented players, and to be the first collegiate team to make RLCS is incredible. So looking at Group A, I have them going 4-0, and I don't have them dropping a game. I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise to everybody. Y'all know that I'm a big Georgia State fan, but I just don't see them. I originally, when I was doing this, I saw Georgia State taking a game off them, but after they made RLCS, I switched that pretty quickly. Even though they don't have Tristan and it's Milio is still just as talented of a Rocky League player. He competes with them in the Stride Weeklies, and they won one at the beginning of February. So this roster's good. No matter if Tristan's there or not. So I have them going 4-0, 12-0. So y'all know I'm a big Georgia State fan. I personally have them going 3-1, a 9-4 game record, and the games I have them losing is to Akron, obviously. But I have them dropping an extra one to Alabama. This Alabama roster has been up and down throughout the year, but Trizen, I mean, Rookie of the Year last year for SEL, arguably an amazing player. Chan's a great captain, and Gray is going to fill his role nicely. He's done well so far this season. I'm excited to see how he does on LAN. I don't know if he's played on LAN before. But I think Alabama, I don't think that they play second in that group. I think they go third, which means they go 2-2 with a 7-6 game record. They lose to GSU, and they lose to Bama. Some of you guys might hate me for having Robert Morris not make it. And look, I know that Rad Moves, Illuminous, and Sheep, I know there are 3 very talented players. But this Bama roster has been up and down for too long, and I don't think that even though this group may be considered to be a quote-unquote group of death, because those are 4 teams who either qualified in the first or the second qualifier, I just don't see it. I don't see Robert Morris winning. And I think their series is going to be close. I have Bama winning that head-to-head 3-2. I have it going all the way to 5, and I have it going 3-2. And I don't think that's a crazy opinion. Again, would love to see me be proven wrong, but I just don't see it. So I have Robert Morris going 1-3, and then obviously, unfortunately for UC Bearcats, I have them going 0-4. So that's Group A. Nothing too crazy. I know that Alabama Robert Morris game, it can be a toss-up, but I think that this entire group will come down to that, which will be in the round 4. So be looking out for that if it's not on stream. All right, so the next group that Bepic tasked me with was looking at Group B. So Group B is fairly easy at the top, But the middle, I went back and forth on for days trying to figure this out. I had one team going and winning it in 5 for 2 days, and then now I've had another team going for it in 5. I'm not sure here. But I think we can all very easily say, well, not easily, but I have UTK going 4-0. I do think there's a world where Cumberland pushes them to 5 and maybe picks it up 3-1, but UTK will make the playoffs. I will die on that. I will be crucified for that. UTK will make playoffs. 3-1 is the worst they'll do. I think they take care of business against Purdue Cold, Ohio State Kevin, and UC Bearcats Black. I think those are all fairly easy games. And again, adding on a guy like Crisp is just absolutely gross for them. This team looks so good. They've beat King, I believe, in 6 on Bepic's stream, and they beat Georgia State in 5 on my stream. So this team looks good. I have them going 12-3 though. So I have UTK dropping a game to Ohio State, and I have them dropping 2 to Cumberland. So that then takes me to my next point, is my second seed, my 3-1 team, is Cumberland. This team looks completely different after adding Super Smurf. They are dangerous, they are versatile, and for the first time, at least in my viewing experience in casting, they are playing as a team. And when Cumberland uses their mechanics and starts playing as a team, oh, y'all better watch out because they look good. Super Smurf was a great Super Smurf was a great addition for this team, and I just simply think that they're going to take this 3-1 fairly easily. So I do have them dropping to UTK, but I have them at 11-5. So I have Cumberland dropping a game to Ohio State. I have them dropping 3 to UTK, obviously, but I have that Cumberland UTK series going to 5. And then I have Cumberland dropping 1 to Purdue. So this is where my group predictions might stray a little bit off the path here, is I know Ohio State is your projected 3rd team in this group, but I'm going to be honest, and people are going to hate me for this. I believe in this Purdue Gold team. They came to BBB last year, took care of business, and I believe they got the 2nd seed in their group. Now, granted, some may argue that the talent wasn't as good last year as it is this year, and that I may partially agree with, but they look so good. This Purdue team is talented. I've seen them perform pretty well this season, and this Ohio State roster I just haven't seen anything out of. And also this roster I don't recognize. Like, I recognize Dan Watt. I don't recognize B-Boys and CJ, but I'm familiar with Enchanted and Duck. But instead of last year they had Plain at BBB, this year they have Ryan, and from what I believe Ryan is the better player. I could be wrong, and oh well. But these are my predictions. We're gonna see how it goes. So I have in the round 4 matchup. This is one of my biggest games to watch the entire weekend. Purdue and Ohio State play, and I do not see a world where that game is not to determine the 3rd seed in Group B. I don't see how either one of those teams upset UTK or Cumberland. And so I really do think that their entire tournament lives will come down to that round 4. And I have it going to 5. I had Ohio State winning for literally the last 3 days up to this video. And as I sat down to make this video, I looked at the rosters, and I was like, I can't bet against the upset. I got to have something in my predictions that catches everybody's eyes. And I believe this is the pick that I'm going with. So that's just how I believe it. I think that we end up getting UTK in the 1 seed, Cumberland in the 2 seed, Purdue in the 3 seed, barely getting it over Ohio State Kevin, who will unfortunately be knocked out. And then even more unfortunately, I have UC Bearcats going 0-4. So those are my 2 group predictions. A big thank you to Bepic for having me on as a guest analyst, and I hope that I will be able to bring all of my screaming talent to BBB this weekend. So I'll see y'all there. Safe travels, everybody, and thank you.
And following that wonderful analysis from TJ, we're going to be moving into the predictions part of this video. We've gone top 3 in groups, then top 12, top 4, top 2, and the eventual BBB winner. So starting with group 1, I'll talk about my personal picks and just show the other casters' picks because I'm not going to give them the chance to defend them. I'll have to ask them about it on LAN. But group 1, I've got Akron winning it. Because it's Akron, they just made RLCS. At least 2/3 of them did. So they should be winning Group 1. Georgia State, a not so close 2nd place. I think they'll put up a fight. but I don't think they'll be beating Akron. And then following them up in third, I think Alabama is going to be the team making it out of Group 1, just behind Georgia State, because they've been looking really good lately in the SEL, in my Monday Night Lights show matches, and I think they'll just be too much for Cincinnati White and Robert Morris. Then Group 2, kind of a similar deal, with UTK being the heavy favorites, in my opinion, to take that one. Crisp has been a massive injection of mechanical skill into that roster, and they're following up a near grand finals appearance in the last BBB after they took Northern Kentucky with Toasty on the roster to Game 7 in the lower semifinal last semester. So now that the roster is upgraded even further, they right now are heavy favorites to win their group. And Cumberland Maroon, good team with the infusion of Super Smurf up from Cumberland Black, but I don't think they'll be beating UTK in the group stage. And then the third seed right here was a really difficult decision for me. I think it's a toss-up between Ohio State and Purdue, and so I'm going Purdue, but I'm pretty hesitant about who I think is going to make it out as that third seed here. And Group 3, King, the reigning champs with big weight in place of Turbo. Again, favorites to win their group. Cincinnati could put up a fight. I'm unsure how that series will go, but at the moment, I've got King winning the group. Cincinnati coming up in second, and then Kentucky breaking out of that bottom 3 as the third seed to make it to playoffs. They've looked pretty good so far, like I talked about earlier. This new look roster with Unfriable Apples, the consistent force, has played solidly in the SEL, and I see no reason that they should be losing to Cumberland Black and Northern Kentucky enough to where they don't get out of this group. Now, Group 4, I think, is definitely the closest group at the top of it, but I think that in terms of the top 3 in this group, it's pretty easy to predict South Carolina, Concord, and UAH Blue as the 3 teams breaking out. Western and Kentucky and Mount Aloysius will have to pull off some big upsets, in my opinion, to make it to day 2. It's just in terms of who's going to win that I honestly have no idea. I'm going to say South Carolina, just sticking with the seeding right here, but between the top 3 teams in Group 4, it could be either of them. So now that you've seen our top 12 predictions after day 1, we're going to be so brave as to pick the top 4 playing in the semifinals at the end of day 2. For me, I think Akron and UTK are locks. King is about as close to a lock as the rest of the field could get. And then, in my opinion, I think Georgia State is the 4th best team at LAN this semester. But if they play second in their group, which I'm figuring they will, being in the group with Akron, they would have to play UTK in the round of 8 in the single elimination bracket. And I think UTK wins that, having the head-to-head tiebreaker already set with their SEL match a couple of weeks ago. And so I think Georgia State, despite being one of my top 4 teams, is going to bow out in the round of 8. So Cincinnati, I would have next up there. I think they'll make the semifinals, but it's between a lot of teams right there. Cumberland could do it, South Carolina could do it, Concord could do it, UAH Blue could do it. So Cincinnati, just a narrow favorite of mine to make it to the semifinals. And then from the semis, UTK and Akron are the obvious top 2, and I think Akron is the obvious favorite. I would be surprised if many people didn't have Akron as the straight-up favorite, even between them and UTK. So they're my winner for BBB Spring 2024, but it's going to be a fun LAN. The competition has never been closer at BBB, and so it's going to be a fun weekend. I'll see you there. Make sure to say hi, even if we've never met before. I'm always down to talk Rocket League, especially Southeastern Collegiate Rocket League. So, I've been MrBepic. I'll see you there. All right. Welcome back to my stream.
Wait, come over here.
Wait, everybody just get in one frame.
Okay, ready? Okay, we're on one frame.
The webcam we're using tracks people, and it's chosen Hana as its favorite person. And also Rocket League servers are down right now. So we're in a LAN lobby for UAH Blue and Georgia State, or Buds at Georgia State. And so there's going to be no name tags. So I gave TJ and Hana this series because I knew this was going to happen. I didn't want to cast it myself.
Yeah.
We're the top casters.
They're the ones that are going to cast this. So, guys, I'll let you take this away. I'll set it up to go to Rocket League and send you guys off.
Yeah, we're going to give it a try, that's for sure.
Guys, we're just going to focus on having a lot of fun tonight. Happy Friday Night Lights, first day of BBB. Everyone is like, oh, you still see my face. I was really close to the camera.
Sorry. Still doing a BO7.
Super awkward.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the most chalked best of 7 that you may ever witness. I am your lovely host, DJ TJ. With me is my lovely co-host and my other co-host, MrBepic and Nebby. Anyways, we're going to hop straight on into it here. So obviously, Buds at GSU, no name tags, but with the orange team color. So we're going to try and give it our absolute best.
We see one of the Buds players here taking this ball up from midfield, but quickly redirected by a player from UHA. And a shot goes up from one of the Buds, and unfortunately no one's there to find it. UHA trying to clear that ball out very slowly.
Something interesting about this Alabama Huntsville roster is the storied history of this school and its team members, and almost an amazing shot top bar for them. But back to my main point, actually, I might not even get a chance to do anything. A shot should come over the middle here, but we're going to see 3 members go, and down the left side is blank name tag.
A lovely setup here from blank name tag straight to their teammate blank name tag. They really made that play work, and we love to see it.
But anyways, to the main point, as UAH will take a very quick 1-0 lead there. This roster has a very interesting history. Obviously, a lot of us come from the Southeastern Esports League, including almost, I think, half the teams here today. And UAH has a very good history of upsets and stepping up when they need to. Now, granted, this Friday Night Lights match, fairly low-key. Obviously, chalk, as you can tell, as blank name tag finds another blank name tag, but not the right color one, and almost going to be a top right shot for the orange blank name tag, and a pass is going to come out. And either way, to summarize the main point, UAH has a history of upsets. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull that one out today.
I'm personally rooting for GSU here. I really feel like they can stop that history of those upsets and really establish their place as a strong team here tonight, putting them in a good spot for tomorrow's games. We see orange blank name tag going up for a touch, but unfortunately doesn't hit.
The names are back. Wait! The names are back. All right, now we can actually cast names as B-More's going to try and dunk Buddy, but will not fall. We'll see Shady try and find his teammate Monk, who's going to bang that dead center. Kozin can't save it. Tie game at 3:30.
Such a great way to kick off this series, getting our name tags back, with the exception of maybe one here. But a beautiful pass from Shady, straight to Monk. A little bit of a mishit from Kozin there, but going in, hitting that top left corner. A beautiful equalizer for this series.
If you guys haven't tuned into the DJ TJRL streams, little selfless plug there, GSU has made a home there, and Monk with the dunk is the reference that we love to use. And it hasn't came out just yet, but it's only a matter of time when this GSU roster starts to heat up. But UAH looking strong, but now we see the first of probably many demos this series. Both these rosters extremely adamant on being aggressive and trying to clear out opportunities for him, as we'll see Josh try and do something with it.
You can see Shady trying to go ahead and set up one of his teammates here. Buddy RV taking that opportunity, taking that ball, going up the ceiling with it, but leaving it there.
See the ball fall down to the middle, almost a very close shot there. I believe that was Monk to Shady, and now we'll see B-More trying to get a counterattack going, but Shady, first man on, Kozin, awkward. Shady gonna get the read left side, but not gonna fall.
You can see that pressure coming out here from GSU, really trying to put some pressure here on this UAH roster with a beautiful shot. But Josh is right exactly where he needs to be to save that ball. But Buddy trying to go back up for this rebound, going mid to Shady. Buddy again. Unfortunately, nothing to come out of it here.
One thing you can expect in this best of 7 is that it's going to be tight, it's going to be close, but now Shady's going to try and make me swallow my words as 2 members of GSU go through. We'll see Buddy, third man, finding Shady, top bends, 2-1 GSU.
That constant pressure from GSU there really made UHA awkward. You can see Josh here trying to clear that. B. Morris clearing that there. Josh and Kozin knocking each other, and Shady finding that perfect opportunity to slot one in the top left.
The storyline to watch this weekend is both GSU and Cumberland, both two-seeded teams in fairly rough groups who have made major changes to their game plan or to their roster. Obviously, we saw Cumberland, who ended up going with Super Smurf over Aurora, and GSU simply isn't the same team, and as you can tell by that mistake there, and Kozin will take that one.
Really bad own call there from Buddy RV. Wow, but you see Kozin, a great shot there, and Buddy unfortunately just redirecting it back into his own net, equalizing the series at 2-2.
The lovely part about Friday Night Lights is that at the end of the day, it's all for show and tell, but at this point, these players are sitting right next to each other, so though we make the joke about bragging rights, this time it is immediately available, and especially all throughout the weekend as all these teams have made the trip to Lexington. Now we'll see. Shady trying to make the trip out of his own defensive half, not going to find it. See him try and go to the midfield. Is there a Georgia State player in sight? Yes, there is, but Josh is going to get a good read. Close shot there.
See Shady trying to take this ball and make something happen and clear it to one of his teammates there. Kozin trying to touch that ball. Josh sending it straight up to the net, and Kozin trying to put it in, but a fantastic block from Buddy.
And a huge save coming in again from another GSU player. Now we'll see Monk try and get out of his half, but this UAH side again, these teams are both so similar in keeping the pressure as Buddy and Shady both double commit there, and now this ball's going to fall to UAH. Going off the top ends, Josh not going to get it. Awkward touch, Kozin, top bends, close save from Monk. We'll see him try and get out with 15 boost. We'll try to get the 50. B-More going to fake, will get the win, and now we'll see Shady try and give his teammates a little bit of time.
You can see this constant applied pressure from both teams, both of them really trying to move that ball off their own side and onto the other team's field. You can really see Shady coming up with this ball here. Oh, Monk, excuse me. Possession retaken by Kozin.
Look, the names may have been chalked as that shot is almost chalked top left, but hey, we're getting warmed up. We literally just got here. But anyways, we'll see Shady, who's going to try and get his way back to the backboard. We'll see Monk try and find his teammates. Gets a great catch off the corner. 44 seconds left. Tie game. Wide open net. Buddy RV can't catch it. UAH goes up 3-2.
Small mistakes like that are what causes this team to be such an upset team. You say UAH here, UAH here, really being a contender to win this game.
And it is such a long series. This is not your average SEL best of 5. It is a very long best of 7. And on land, it only feels longer. Every ticking second, breathing down your neck. We'll see Josh try and find his way and make it a little bit of an extra insurance goal, but not going to find it. Shady going to fake, jumping at Kozin to jump. A little panic is Kozin. We'll see Shady take the space. Going to go for a bump. Does get one. B-More stays with it, though. Has to dunk his own teammate for it. But UAH staying strong.
A little bit of an awkward defense there coming out from UAH, but Shady trying to take advantage of that and clearing that ball back into their own half. But Josh, slight miss there on that read, but B-More gonna make up for that.
And I'm shocked to see GSU not punish, as maybe Buddy will, but a big miss in the midfield might just cost him this game. Final 5 seconds, 1 goal. We'll see Monk try and find Shady. Kozin there first. Buddy gonna try and find a teammate. Looks like he'll find Monk. The ball's gonna go down, but he blocks his own teammate. May have been a shot on net, but UAH takes game 1.
TJ, do you think this was going to happen? You were talking about their upset history, and how are you feeling ahead of this series?
I mean, I've personally been upset by this team, so I'm going to be honest, been here, done that, and I can't say I'm surprised. I wish we had time to do predictions, but the series kind of got chalked. I personally, before going into this, I had GSU going 4-2. I think this goes half the distance. I think GSU still has a lot of issues they're figuring out, but, I mean, that's not the way you want to start. What a game from Kozin, by the way.
Absolutely. You can see that 3 goals and 5 shots there, the absolute MVP of that team, really carrying that roster through. You know, I expected a little bit of a higher performance there from Buddy RV, our captain of the Buds, but hoping he makes up for that in the later games of the series.
Captain enough to literally name the dang team after him. So you would love to see him at the top of the scoreboard like he's at the front of the name and maybe try and give that logo a little more pride. But this player's going to ready back up. We believe we're waiting on Josh to rejoin the lobby. Hopefully it's just a simple car switch. B-More said that his Alzheimer's is hitting hard, and hopefully he'll be all right. But now Josh is back. We'll see B-More say they're ready. So it looks like we are going to ready up here, hop straight into game 2.
Josh getting a little scatterbrain there, forgetting we were playing a series twice, so we are excited to see how this happens.
Players joining back in the lobby. Josh's Alzheimer's nowhere to be seen as we find ourselves straight into game 2. B-More, Josh, this UAH roster looking to capitalize off of the early game win, but that kickoff not going to go their way.
See a strong kickoff there from GSU, really trying to kill that momentum from G8.
Anyways, so again, as y'all know, this series is shot. We're warming up. We promise. We'll be ready for tomorrow and Sunday. Don't you worry. Speaking of ready, we'll see Buddy RV trying to play in the midfield. Is ready for that miss. May find another touch going backboard. Dunk does land. Is there a second player? Yes, there is. It's too late though. Shady using backboard. Flip reset. You've seen him make this move 1,000 times, but will not fall today.
I was really looking forward to that shot from Shady, but it looks like he's going to go for it again, setting up his teammate. Buddy is there, but Josh is also there, trying to get that clear. And Buddy, again, following up. They can really see that pressure being kept on the side, and Buddy, oh no.
Oh man, I've played with this man for too long. I've seen that play too many times and not gonna fall, unfortunately. But what a play. GSU starting to heat up, but UAH not out of the fight at all. We'll see Shady try and win a 50 out of the half, but with no boost, this UAH side suffocated.
See Cozen here trying to make something happen for this UHA team. B-More going up for that shot. Shady challenging, winning that 50, setting it straight over him, but Josh trying to take possession of that ball, but Monk beats him here.
Monk Meister Jr., the name change for the weekend. Not sure if it's going to affect him positively or negatively, but his name is at least visible now. So we'll take that, and Cozen is going to take the fake and try and leave it for B-More, and then Josh going to follow up with a dunk, and now Monk trying to get a little bit of space and time. Again, this GSU roster not finding boost anywhere, but now finally getting some time, but Buddy RV is going to try and find Monk, maybe too early of a pass. Buddy RV maybe gets over one, not enough, and B-More is going to try and give his team some time. We'll see Cozen not get the dunk. Josh will get the bang. It's going to leave Monk by himself, and a huge play there to give some time to the GSU roster.
That clear was absolutely what that GSU roster needed there. Monk really trying to push that ball out of their field, but I may speak too soon as B-More for the shot. A beautiful shot there. Center, middle of the goal. Fantastic way to start off this game, keeping that momentum up from that last series. 2
minutes into the game, going back and forth, and B-More finds the shot off a breakaway. This GSU side is known for being offensive. They're known for being aggressive, and that third man has always had issues. I mean, if y'all saw the incredible series that was UTK versus GSU going all the way to 5, you saw this mistake come out, but one thing you will notice is they know how to bump, and it almost gets in the goal there, but it's not enough.
You can see Monk trying to take this ball off of his side of the field, but Cozen, a challenge, unfortunately does not go his way. Shady quickly trying to apply that pressure. Monk taking that ball from Shady and blocked off by Josh.
GSU pressure slowly starting to build, but what I'm not seeing is a little more coordination, as that right there proves my point. Now leaves Buddy by himself, does win the 50, but will he win another one? Yes, he will. He's got to make it a third, though. We'll try and make a demo. Make it a little bit easier. He's going to try and get over one, gets over two, but again, nobody's there. GSU rotationally not in this game right now.
It feels like this pressure is really succumbing to them. This does not look like the same team we saw in game 1. I think coming off that loss is really rough for them, and we see Cozen going up for that, Monk going up for that shot, but unfortunately nothing there. Cozen, as mentioned earlier, taking that pass, and Josh, shot there blocked by Buddy RV.
We aforementioned the old Cumberland roster because this GSU roster is new, but that is what they get accused of being, is very similar to that OG roster. A lot of solo players who are going to try and do their thing, but what is the point of that if you're not going to find each other? Whether it's through demos, whether it's through passes, whether it's through the beat from Monk to Shady, but then no boost to follow.
See Josh going up, taking that ball straight from Shady. It looks like there's only one defender left. Buddy only one back, but Monk getting there quickly, taking possession, but Josh not liking that as an answer. Passing that ball over his teammate and a beautiful clear there.
UAH almost getting the very quick counterattack. Cozen is going to still stay on this. We'll get under one. Big save from Shady, though. Josh's last man back, and what a play from him. Almost certainly a goal, but saves it just barely. But the counter still not over. We'll see Monk try and find his way over B-More, who's going to use the backboard to his advantage. Something GSU normally punishes, but Josh is going to try and prevent that now. Going off the sidewall. Flip not going to land. A little bit of time starting to come out for GSU, but now we cross into this last minute.
With this last minute remaining, it's really essential for this GSU roster to score, and Shady making a beautiful shot there right over that defender, taking advantage of that opportunity.
GSU ripping the IV out. They got signs of life beeping in this game. 1 minute left, tying it up at 1 apiece. They're not done just yet.
As we get in this last minute in the game, we see both teams have to really apply a lot of pressure to make this go their way. UHA trying to keep that momentum from the first game, but a really awkward kickoff from both teams. comes out with Kozin taking possession.
And GSU's starting to heat up a little bit, but B-More finds Kozin off the ceiling, but Kozin wasn't ready. Now Monk gonna try and make a play of his own off the wall, will not find it. Now Shady, the man, the myth, the legend, back right, not gonna fall. Dunk will come, but not gonna be towards net. Quick counterattack for UAH, gonna be beat. That's 2 members of the roster. No dunk comes out. They're gonna find each other in the midfield, play developing, but Buddy's gonna say no.
Applying that pressure from GSU there is so critical to keep them in this game. And as I say that, Shady going for the shot, going for the dunk. Monk, unfortunately, not able to make it in Kozin, getting a touch on that ball and sending it back into the GSU half.
GSU with a golden opportunity, under 30 seconds left, and they give it away, but they're not out just yet. We'll see Shady try and find his way through one. Will not just yet. Buddy RV gonna use the left wall, then gonna find Monk, who's gonna put it on net. Last few seconds left. Josh gonna drop it bottom left. It's gonna be a demo. It's gonna give him a chance going towards net. Josh gonna hit it down, and we have overtime in game 2.
Oh my goodness, what a way to end that game and start our overtime. We see Monk here getting that kickoff for GSU, and Buddy unfortunately going under that ball, not necessarily getting a great hit there, but Shady trying to capitalize off of that for his team.
One thing that we see these Friday Night Lights teams do is they don't play with a lot of respect. This is your chance to scrimmage. This is your chance to test. But as of right now, these teams look scared. I'm seeing misses that aren't being challenged. I'm seeing second man too far back, and one team has got to make the change. Now, granted, UAH does have the game advantage. GSU fighting back tooth and nail, and now Shady gonna try and work his way through that one, but now Buddy left by himself, has to get over B-More, will not. Is there a second man? Yes, there is. Monk beating one. No, he will not. Big dunk from Josh, and so far, it might stall out just a little bit. Awkward clear. Kozin left side. Josh shooting it middle. Not gonna go in. Ball's gonna fall back over. Big bump. Bottom right. Not gonna fall. Is it gonna be top right? No.
What an offensive annihilation there from this UAH roster. They were really drilling on that GSU team, but unfortunately wasn't able to make it. You can see them really messing up their defense here as B-More still continuing that offensive attack, but Shady finally breaking it out of that GSU side and going for the shot. Blocked by Josh, going back up Kozin, trying to make something happen here and clear this ball out of his side. B-More takes that responsibility, takes that lead, challenged by Buddy. B-More still gets it over.
You rarely see Shady miss those plays. He is the flip reset merchant in the state of Georgia, and that will not land as he puts the state on his back this weekend. But so far, I mean, so good. Pretty even defense. They did a great job against that absolute onslaught from earlier. But then it gets really awkward at this point. You find yourselves almost 2 minutes in, and now Shady, with no boost, just trying to give his team some space. That he does. Monk gonna try and find his way over one, will not. B-More going to wall, but who's there? It's Buddy RV in the mainframe octane, but not gonna be able to compute his way through.
Shady here getting that pass from Buddy, but a quick bump there from B-More comes out, clearing the way for Kozin, but Monk takes possession of that ball, going up for one. He's the only one there, the defender misses, and Buddy gets that beautiful pass there from Monk to equalize this game, send it to 2-1, and the series is 1-1.
It's in the name, Monk to the Bud himself. Bud's taking it 2-1 and tying up the series at 1 game apiece.
Whew, wow, TJ, this series has my heart absolutely racing. What a wonderful last play we saw there from Buddy and Monk. You can see Buddy really stepping up, taking that team captain role again. He is that MVP. He is that leading scorer with his saves and his shots. He was there every time you needed him. And I think that's a big reason that GSU got that game in today.
And the 4 saves coming out from Buddy, that's huge. I mean, looking at the shot differential, you're looking at 9-6. And Bud's getting more shots, but not a whole lot of saves. It makes you worry about their defense. UAH obviously getting their only goal off of a lacking third man. But I mean, hey, you make it out of that one just barely, and you'll take it as you need that game to stay in this. You'd hate to go down 2-0, but what I'd hate even more is to go down 2-1, and we'll see which players are not going to let that happen to them as we enter Game 3.
TJ, this is lining up with your prediction pretty well of GSU
It's looking
4-2.
good.
Excited to see it play out, and we see Shady here going in. Monk for the early goal. There's no defense there. Shady quickly taking out Kozin, or excuse me, Kozin taking out Shady there.
You do not want to give this GSU team momentum. You don't want to give either one of these teams momentum. These are both teams that will snowball on you, matching the weather outside of Lexington today. And these teams, you just cannot let that happen. 2 seconds in. Quickest goal of the series.
Really excited way to start off the series. You can see GSU really capitalizing on that momentum, like you said, snowballing from that win in that last game. You see Josh trying to change that though, but Shady taking possession here, trying to get it over this B-More defender. B-More with an awkward touch there, but Monk following up with another shot. GSU not letting up on this torrential offense here. You can see Buddy trying again. Monk going back in. Shady coming up, but defended by B-More.
Don't let it go unnoticed. Josh, what a save, and almost getting the counterattack for his boys there, but instead, Shady, one of the arguably most annoying players in this league. He's always going to be on you and on the ball, and no matter where he is, he's going to try and clear up room for his teammates. Now, we'll see him get, actually it's going to be Monk with a bump there, and now ball's going to go flying back left.
You can see Buddy trying to get this ball from B-More, but Josh clears it out from Buddy's way, and Monk going up for this 50 here, this challenge. Unfortunately, it looks like no one touched it there. Kozin taking that ball, going up across midfield. Looking for a pass here, but challenged by one of these GSU defenders.
One thing I will say is that I haven't casted this UAH team in a few months, and they are looking so much better. And how about mechanically? Kozin with the delayed flip top ends for him.
And look at that beautiful bump coming out there from Josh. That was absolutely a fantastic way to make this play happen. You see him bump Shady right across the net, away from that defense, leaving an open net there for Kozin.
And hey, why not? I'm sure that shot would have gone in regardless. A great play from Kozin nonetheless. But hey, the bump helps, and it also is such a good sign to see that you're building this pressure, especially after you took the 2-second goal, and now you find yourselves tying the game.
Starting off with that equalizer right here is going to be really useful for building that team's momentum. I know we've been harping on that a lot this series, but we see Kozin taking this ball. B-More with that demo on Shady there. Buddy challenging Kozin, giving it a pass straight to Josh, and Josh looks for Kozin. Kozin finds the ball, and a quick shot, but great defense from Shady.
Great defense is something that we don't say a lot about this GSU roster, but to win a series like this, you're going to have to pull it out of somewhere. Now we'll see Buddy with 10 boosts, not going to beat one, and now there's no third man for UAH. Shady knows there's a guy on him, also knows he's got a teammate there. How about neither?
Buddy looking up and getting that pass there from Shady, but B-More quickly saying no and denying that, but Monk not liking that answer. Going in for that shot, taking it mid. Unfortunately, no one is there, and Kozin gets that clear straight out to the GSU side.
So far, just a lot of foreplay in the middle of the field, not in the way you're thinking, Stream. And now we'll see Shady try and take this one back and try and maybe escalate the situation just a little bit. But so far, both these teams playing so slow and so controlled. Again, these teams playing nervous. I'm not seeing as much pressure or disrespect as, how about the double commit there? And now B-More's going to find Josh. Awkward touch. Shady's going to get there first. Kozin not going to get it. Monk off the side, not going to get the left shot, though.
Buddy trying to follow up and get that rebound there. And looks like Shady's turning again, trying to make something happen for this GSU roster. Going up, Josh meets him, and Shady still gets it over him. Unfortunately, no other GSU offense there to bring that in.
Those are the opportunities that you got to be a little more aggressive and a little more disrespectful, but very respectful is that save, and disrespectful is that shot. Unfortunate for UAH, and now we're 1-1. Bumping going on in the backfield. Monk off the wall. He's going to find Buddy, but Buddy's not ready. Quick 1v1 for Josh. No boost over one. Is it in the net? Bang! Save from Buddy.
Such an awkward series of plays there. We saw some weird defense coming out from GSU, and yet that UAH offense just could not find the shot to go in. Monk trying to clear this ball out, but Josh still keeping that pressure applied with a beautiful demo on Buddy, but looks like no one from his team is following up there.
No second man again. I'm seeing it on both sides of the roster. It's honestly pitiful. And yes, I may say that word with strong connotation, but maybe one of these teams will prove me wrong and it won't be GSU off the counter. We'll see Kozin try and find a teammate. He's met by an orange car of Shady. The Sparkles boost not going to find its way into the back of the net though. Ball going to go middle. Nobody pushing. Shady with 100 boosts that he just stole. Quickly turning for that one.
You see Monk trying to keep up that pressure. Shady was applying, and Shady meeting it again, going off that wall. Buddy trying to meet that ball. Unfortunately, no one from GSU was there to keep it up. It looks like one player will go for the play, and there's no one there to back him up. You see UAH really trying to capitalize off of that.
And now we'll see the ball fall back to GSU possession. We find ourselves in another last-minute game. We'll see 5 members of the lobby go for that one. Big counterattack, not going to fall. B-More trying to delay a flip. Kozin can't get it. GSU right side. It's Monk with his second goal of the series.
That 5-player commit is what really messed up both of these teams here. Left Monk with that completely open net. Kozin trying to jump forward, unfortunately not able to make it, putting GSU up 2-1.
A massive change of momentum and a massive change of pace. We've seen goofy goals throughout 3 games. I would have thought I was in a Mickey Mouse episode, but so far, not seeing any more. Hopefully for the rest, we'll see if UAH can earn one back, or will be Monk absolutely dunking it. LeBron windmill top ends.
Monk the dunk coming back in, as you mentioned last game, TJ. What a beautiful shot and showing from him, establishing GSU's dominance in the rest of this game.
A massive insurance goal after losing that first game, that you find yourselves 1-1 for 4.5 minutes. Just about, and now UAH needs something they need it quick, and Kozin can get this going, does fake one impressively. We'll see him try and flick over, not gonna do so. Kozin bumping one, Josh gonna use backboard, miss, another miss, but Shady somehow still on this ball, and that may just do it. Wait a minute, I spoke too soon. 2-3.
UAH is trying to put your foot in your mouth, TJ. Take your words back. Trying to keep themselves in this game with 11 seconds left. They do still have time to score this last one and equalize this series, sending us potentially into another OT.
Well, if you're from Huntsville, I hope you believe in miracles, because you got 11 seconds to do so. A major game would this become for UAH if they can steal it. They get the opportunity to counterattack. Be-more taking an awkward touch. Gonna try and find a teammate. That's a massive miss, though. There's still a chance. Kozin missing. This may just go in the net. How about Monk with all 4 goals?
Monk putting the nail in the coffin here for this UAH roster. Wow. What an absolutely powerful play from him. Those 4 goals in the series really establishing him as a dominant player.
Yeah, dominant, powerful. You use the buzzwords correctly, and big 4-goal performance from him, and that is going to end this game. We get 2 goals in the entire 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we turn around and we get 3 in 30. So maybe we finally see this transition from the teams being a little more disrespectful, playing a little more to how we're used to seeing them, but a massive win for the Buds from GSU.
Looks like we're getting our players ready up again to go hit into the rest of our best of 7. We have Buds at GSU with 2 games up on this series. UAH Blue having 1.
Obviously some friendly banter going on in the chat here. A lot of love between these teams, and I mean, you love to see it, that at the end of the day, even though this is a very intense competition for bragging rights, these teams do remember we're here for the entire Southeastern community. But for now, screw all that. We're going to hop into Game 4. GSU looking to take a dominant 3-1 lead. And we'll wait for Josh to ready up, maybe having another episode. Actually not. We're going to hop straight in here and give you this content very soon. Hannah, take us in.
Ooh, I'm excited to get in this game, TJ. I'm really hoping to see GSU capitalize on their momentum from this last game. TJ laughing at me here as I've said the word momentum 50 times in the last 3 minutes.
Monk with the I love you, MrBepic. We love Bepic too, and what we love more of that is all these follows and all these amazing supports that y'all are giving the stream. I just saw Mr. Chemist himself, fellow Ghost member, mentor to us. Thank you, Chemist. We appreciate you coming by, and we appreciate the entire stream and the entire esports arena here in Lexington for having us, and it is a pleasure. But it would be more of a pleasure for GSU if they can find their way into a 3-1 lead. So far, there's not a 2-second goal, but the disrespect, the double pre-jump, somehow going to work out for the Buds.
Really excited to see what they're doing here. B-more taking that ball going in from mid. Unfortunately, no teammate there to follow it up, and Buddy will answer that call. Passing that over to Monk. Can he dunk it one more time? Josh says no, taking that ball up that left corner.
With all these nursery rhymes, I think we can honestly start calling Shady and Monk Thing 1 and Thing 2, because they are rambunctious through the middle of the field. And now we'll see UAH trying to replicate that on their own. But GSU, again, they keep finding their way up high, but Monk not generating enough power off that play. Now Shady with a chance. Will he fake? No, he won't. He's going to leave it for Buddy, and what a read from Kozin.
You can see such a difference in the GSU offense here as all 3 of them are actually pushing up together. Such a big difference from in game 1 where you'd have 2 people up and unfortunately shot not being able to make it. Josh trying to clear that ball off of their field.
And you know, when I meant disrespect, I meant reasonable disrespect. I don't mean Buddy RV jumping from the other side of the field to challenge 2 UAH players, but he will challenge this, and a double commit comes out from UAH. Golden opportunity if Shady gets there, which he will. Ball will fall down right side. Major read goes back towards net. Buddy RV, a little awkward, cutting Monk, and cutting him twice, actually, and misses across the field.
Awkward plays coming out here from GSU. That disrespect really showing, and Josh trying to capitalize that. But fortunately, Monk was there. Goes in taking that ball. Going up midfield. Looks like Shady is going to answer that. B-more. Back and forth here, really playing ping pong on that UHA side of the field.
You know, why do the casting when they might do it for us? As Monk called out the great pass off his mistouch with a bump from Buddy, though, but the fake will not work. This UAH side locked in, dialed in. A huge bump that's going to stop the midfield play, and now they find themselves on a 2v1. Buddy, it's going to actually end up back in Kozin's hands. Shady going to try and psycho? I'm not sure. He's going to try and get a counterattack. Josh going early. Big dunk from him. It's going to leave Monk all by his lonesome. Awkward play.
Monk here again trying to take possession of that ball, but Josh trying to dunk it over him, passing over one. B-More down. 2 defenders there, double committing on that, but a bump from B-More sends Shady right into the UAH half.
Oh, I thought B-More was about to give him the goal, and so far it's going to be another counterattack. Cozen very quickly on this ball. Josh up next. A bump comes on the right side, but they don't make the open net. Monk going to get a huge clear. This game is delivering so far. Dead even as we almost reached the 2-minute mark.
This game is delivering some stress, that's for sure, TJ. We see Shady trying to challenge Josh there, but unfortunately not being able to get to him, but Buddy going over. B-More taking that 50. Shady again trying to make something happen, getting that ball off their side of the court, and he succeeds.
Yeah, that is something that I'm used to casting myself. Shady will find a way to make it happen. Unfortunately, did miss the flip reset that could have gave that Game 3 win maybe a little more pizzazz, but nonetheless, he needs to replicate that throughout the series and throughout the weekend, and also on defense stepping up as all 3 members, but now the pressure builds. Shady, though, saving his boost this time.
Really smart move there from Shady to try to get that ball over that defender, but B-More going in. Josh trying to make that save, or that pass, excuse me.
We'll see transition currently move to GSU. We'll see Shady who gets the mid boost that spawns right on top of him, and now Shady with boost is a dangerous man. Backboard over 1, make it 2, but not the 3rd. Now the counterattack. We see UAH in a 3-on-1. Buddy RV doesn't make the save. Double commit from GSU, and now in the last minute, it's do or die for these teams. Nobody in the threat of losing just yet, but with an open net like this, it could change the tide of the game. But the tides will not sway, or maybe they will. B-More leading the blue side 1-0.
Josh during that entire play was relentless going in for those demos. He had one before this play and one right there, leaving that net straight open for B-More to make that shot.
It's almost like that we watched a switch happen in UAH's mind, similar to Josh's Alzheimer's from earlier. It's like that you just watch them flip. And so far, that right there was a massive change to make in the last few minutes. I'm not sure who called it out. I'm not sure who thought of it, but it was massive. Big demos, big disrespect, big pre-jumps coming out, and now we'll see GSU on the back foot. You don't want to push this to a 2-2 series, especially when you had so many opportunities, but UAH getting some of their own, but Buddy's gonna deny.
UAH really trying to make this upset here, but Buddy not allowing it to happen, trying for a shot there, unfortunately blocked by one of their defenders. Again, no one there from the orange team is up. Buddy trying to make that shot, saved by B-More.
UAH finally going into defensive mode, but it might just switch a little too soon. They're leaking out of their half and almost getting caught off guard as Cozen actually will get caught off guard. Now Josh needing to get this bump, and will he get the next touch? Yes, he will. He's going to try and leave this for B-More, and now with a few seconds left, they just need to stall, but Shady very quickly over 2. There's 1 man left. It's Josh all by his lonesome to try and prevent the possible switch of the lead. Not going to happen. UAH ties it at 2 apiece.
You can see B-More rocking that Ghost decal. I gotta give him a shout out for that. Thank you, B-More.
Yeah, we got a complete Georgia and Ghost desk tonight. Absolute treat for y'all. And this series has been a treat so far. I mean, we forgot dessert when we came into Lexington this morning, and maybe this is exactly what we needed.
We have Josh leaving the match one more time. We're gonna wait for him to join back up. Hopefully just a quick car change there. But wow, what a crazy series coming off that last game. TJ, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm going to skim over the Alzheimer's comment from B-More. But, I mean, honestly, I'm a little not impressed by this game. I mean, very back and forth in the middle. I saw some opportunities come out, but nothing that really was good enough. It took 3 members of UAH just to finally get a hold through the GSU defense, and now they find themselves switching momentum back and forth. This is a theme you're going to see all weekend, and we still have 2 more series tonight, but we got to see how this one goes first. Here we go in Game 5.
We have B-More trying to make a strong statement here for UAH, but unfortunately Shady's going to meet him. I lied. Josh going for that shot. Shady finally meeting him here. B-More trying to keep applying that pressure, leaves that ball there.
UAH with an early demo. You would love to see that if you're a Huntsville fan. And B-More very quickly rotating through. He's going to call his teammate off and try and pinch that one. Does find his way over Buddy RV. And if you're the GSU defense, you start to worry. You can't have a singular player working past your entire team, as Josh might just show you how to do it, but put your notebooks away, not just yet.
Buddy was there to make that fantastic save, but Cozen trying to go over Shady, not working, but Monk taking possession of this ball here, over 1. Cozen's gonna meet it. Oh, I lied. Buddy's gonna meet it, trying to make a big play for GSU. Shady with that demo. And Josh taking possession of that ball. Monk, again, applying that pressure. Unfortunately, another demo coming out there.
Just the absolute trade of demos. It is honestly a sloppy game, but this is exactly why these teams play in Friday Night Lights. But if there's a player you can count on, might not be Shady in this game, but a great shot nonetheless to try and keep the pressure. Huge dunk from Kozin with no boost, and will have to die for it, putting his body on the line for this UAH Blue side.
You see Josh trying to apply some more pressure here. It's just really not working out for this UAJ side. A beautiful hit from Monk. Wow, a fantastic read there. Monk coming off that ceiling, unfortunately. Not able to make a play for GSU Buddy. Trying to keep that pressure applied. You see Shady is right there. A shot hitting that top bar.
GSU could make a highlight reel of their own for the entire weekend. They get so mechanical, and a massive bump from there is going to stop UAH from trying to replicate it. But right there, an amazing save from Josh on the other end, but is it enough? Monk going left side. No dunk comes out. Actually, yes, it is, but Shady not putting a shot on target. GSU with a little bit of shooters block this game.
A little bit seems like an understatement here, TJ. We see Shady, again, trying for the shot, but those defenders are relentlessly there from UAH. Be-More, again, clearing that ball directly over him, and Buddy is going to be in the middle to meet him.
And one thing that I want everybody to pay attention to on the scoreboard is we are almost halfway through. And if you take a quick glance at the scoreboard, I'm not seeing a lot of ball touches. I'm seeing a lot of scared men on the field trying to find each other, but like a prom dance, they got to be 6 feet apart. 1-0 right side for UAH.
A crazy call there from TJ, but an amazing goal from UAH. Absolutely just seeing that opportunity and running with it. A great shot coming out from Josh.
Hey, we told y'all we're going to have fun. This is a trial for us at this point. Maybe that will come out tomorrow, or maybe it will, who knows. But one team coming out today is UAH, and they look strong, almost getting a second goal. But now we find ourselves officially halfway through. Play is getting awkward. Big read from, I believe, Buddy. And now we'll see the pressure still build. GSU struggling to find boost. We'll see Be-More steal another corner there, and Shady needs to find a teammate. Will he find Josh on the ceiling instead? Yes, he will. Massive dunk goes on the left wall, though. Kozin not going to beat him. 1v1 on the net. Big dunk from Buddy. There's one there. Oh, he skies it, and Shady was also up for it. Kozin just needs to redirect this. It's off of his axles. 2-0.
This has to be absolutely demoralizing for this GSU roster. They were trying so hard to make something happen here, but Kozin put himself in that perfect position with a fantastic redirect straight into that top left corner.
And though it is a grudge match, moments like these on LAN are so important for these newer rosters. GSU having a rough split in the SEL last season, which may sound like an external thing from BBB, but is very much related as both these teams find each other in that league constantly. But so far, UAH getting the edge, and the momentum change is absolutely massive. You can feel it shaking the floor here as we enter the last 2 minutes.
You can see Kozin taking that ball, sending it over to Josh, but unfortunately, Monk is going to clear it out for that UHA team. Be-More challenging here again, applying that relentless offense. Unfortunately, no one is there from UHA. Shady making the save with a fantastic bump from Kozin and another great clear from Josh.
It seems like UAH can do no wrong, or maybe GSU is going to try and do some right, but not going to find it there. We'll see Shady try and fake out Kozin, but this UAH side too adamant on finding this ball first. Now we'll see a flip reset from Buddy. He will dunk one, but it's going to fall middle. Be-More will beat one. It's going to be an awkward 50 in the middle, but Kozin using the backboard. What a catch, but not going to fall.
What a fantastic play there coming out from Kozin. You can see Josh still keeping that pressure up. This is what has made this game so hard for this GSU team. As I say that, they make me put my foot in my mouth. What a shot coming out from Monk.
And here we go again. 5 games in a row. We find ourselves with a minute left and a close game off the incredible team play from GSU. Almost a 3-man play, but Monk's going to do it himself. An incredible shot as we enter the final minute.
What an exhilarating way to start this last part of the game, and Monk trying to make an early call here, going up for that shot. Looks like Shady going again. We got one defender back. Josh going up for the challenge, but Buddy faking it out a little bit, and it looks like he's going to take that possession.
Oh, and with a golden opportunity off kickoff, you hate to give it away, as now that ball's going to find its way on net. And now Be-More, like all the UAH players, are going to be immediately on this ball. They are not going to opt for the defensive strategy this time, but now Josh has a chance to make it an insurance goal. Miss comes out, right side, and a demo from Josh. Clear the path. Moses through the Red Sea for 3-1.
Josh has been looking for demos this entire series, and TJ, it finally paid off. What a beautiful way to give the shot straight to Kozin.
And the game is not over just yet, but if the results do stand, UAH has stepped up 2 games in a row, and they've set the stage in their favor. GSU, though, still with a chance. 2 goals, very possible for them, but so far it doesn't look good. Massive pinch from B-More to stall time, and it may be a goal. Massive dunk comes out. Josh trying to play it slow. He's aware of the stakes. A smart play from him. Last 20 seconds, and another demo comes out, but it's for the GSU side. Are they going to get something going? Shady has to beat B-More. Will find the ceiling, but there's no GSU teammate there.
Wow, GSU still really relentlessly trying to apply that pressure. Unfortunately, UAH is not allowing them to do that. B-More, I may stand corrected, trying to get some pressure here. Ball goes down. We see UAH take another series.
Backs against the wall, finding game 4 in the last few seconds, finding game 5 in the last 30 seconds. This is a team ready for LAN, and they're being led by Josh. So far, as B-More is not even sure of the score, maybe he should be checked for Alzheimer's. But now, like B-More pointed out, 3-2. We find UAH on match point. And again, as we've mentioned so many times, this may be a grudge match. The importance may not be stated, but when you have to come in less than 24 hours and play these teams again, these games just become a little more important.
Sorry, folks, catching my breath here.
Take a breath.
Getting a little stressed after that series, but excited to see how this plays out. We're on match point here with UAH. Excuse me, I've been calling them UHA this whole series. That's on me, y'all.
GSU just really loves to keep these games close. I have yet to see them win an easy sweep. I believe every game I may have ever casted from them has been a 3-1 at the minimum, and this one's starting to deliver. Obviously, my predictions out the water, but at this point, I'm rooting for chaos, I'm rooting for 7, and the demo from Buddy RB and the GSU side might provide.
We're ready for some chaos as the rest of this game ensues. You see Kozin coming up for this shot. Josh trying to get a rebound there, but unfortunately not making it. Shady up that wall. Taking it slow right here, going over one of these defenders. B-More meeting him. Buddy taking that ball straight out from Shady.
But GSU, again, this pressure seems to build, and then it seems to fade too quickly. And then like that, they're going for balls they shouldn't. It almost looks like they're falling apart. I do know that looking at the setup, as that setup from B-More was incredible, I do know that both these teams have their players spread apart. They're not 3 in a line, and that will change for LAN, and maybe it won't matter all that much. But so far, communication seeming to be lacking on the GSU side.
I think that's been a prevalent issue these last few games, TJ, as you've seen them just let up on really easy things, easy saves, easy shots, but Monk trying to make me regret my words. Shady coming up for that, but Kozin being exactly where he needs to be, and Josh taking that clear out to midfield.
And a massive demo coming out from Buddy, but again, GSU just simply not in the right place. I'm almost seeing a complete flip of what I'm used to this team doing. Normally, Buddy RB is the defensive man, and maybe trying to get a little more passive out of that half. Trying to find a teammate, but the shot will not go on. A critical miss, as we have already gone through a minute 30 of gameplay.
Again, a minute of 30 of gameplay, and there is no score. Continuing a similar trend of the rest of the games in this series, but Josh trying to change my mind here. Going up, crossing 2 defenders, and goes in, taking that ball. Monk quickly saving it and tossing it out to that left corner.
Do excuse our quick pause as someone just fell out of a chair from outside. And I mean, that's a perfect representation of this game, in my opinion. Just demos and misses as Monk finds himself awkward there, and Kozin trying to keep the GSU side awkward. B-More needing to put a shot on. Will indeed. Buddy, though, with enough boost to make the save.
Buddy being exactly where you needed him to there, and Monk seemingly a double commit, leaving B-More with only 1 defender, but unfortunately his shot not able to go through.
Finding yourselves on match point with your backs against the wall is where things get a little nerve-wracking. Top Ben's gonna miss, though. Critical miss from the UAH side.
That play really had my heart racing there. We see Shady trying to move that. Woo! Sorry.
Missed the open net. GSU with a massive demo, completely whiffing the open net. Both teams exchanging golden opportunities, but GSU doesn't have the wiggle room. They still got to win the next 2, and it's got to be in a row. UAH, though, needing 1, and with every ticking second of these last 2 minutes, it becomes a little more absolutely necessary, but another open net passed up.
These small mistakes are what is going to keep UAH from winning this series, and I guess the same can be said about GSU. But wow, those open nets are things you can really not give up in games like this as you're on match point. Josh trying to make a play here, going over Shady, but Shady not allowing that to happen.
Shady doing his best Tomater impression coming out of his half backwards, trying to hook that ball to the trailer and get it out of Radiator Springs. We'll see Buddy RV trying to do the same, but will not find it. Beemore finds his way over 2 and almost over 3, but Shady, dependable. Flip reset, will fall. Now we'll see Josh going to the left to find a teammate, will find Cozen, but then Cozen finds somebody who's not a blue car. It's Buddy RV with a fake, gonna pinch it off backboard, but nobody's there.
This is a continual issue for GSU, like I was talking about. We thought they remedied it last game, but unfortunately, no one is there in that open net miss yet again.
The stall! No, it's a miss again! How many golden opportunities are gonna go by? Monk off the corner, gonna dunk it down. 1 man on, but Buddy won't get past. Last minute left in 6 games in a row. We find ourselves in this spot. Monk gonna have to take this bump. Shady gonna have to take his place. Big demo coming out from the side. We'll see. As it actually was a bump that's not gonna mean anything, as Buddy's gonna get the chance to find it middle, but again, there's nobody.
Monk trying to be there, staying middle, but unfortunately it's not enough as Cozen hits the ball straight over him, and Josh passing to Beemore. Beemore passing straight to Buddy RV, and Beemore again taking that ball up, trying to make something happen.
Beemore trying to add to the highlight reel a day too early in BBB here in Lexington. And now we find GSU down a game, match point, but maybe it doesn't matter. Shady taking his time, going up top. Backboard guy is late, but Josh still gets the touch needed.
That defense from the UAH offense has been, whoa. That defense from the UAH team here has been really what's keeping them in that game. You can see that relentless offense from GSU coming out, but will it be enough? It looks like it might be as Monk sends it over to Shady, but Cozen meets it right in the middle.
But don't worry just yet, there's still some open space. Buddy going middle, Monk bottom side, big save from Beemore, ball gonna hit the ground. GSU backs against the wall, pushing UAH right to the edge. But so far we have overtime.
Overtime indeed, as Monk trying to keep it really short here, but not looking to get over those defenders. You see Beemore taking that ball, hitting it straight to Shady. Shady trying to slow this play down as he often does. Buddy answering that pass.
GSU just not looking together on the defensive side. Shady, though, avoiding a critical play from Cozen that would have put them in an awkward spot now. But Shady with no boost, gonna have to give it to Beemore. Monk with a pre-jump. The team's getting a little aggressive. It's getting hot in here because these teams are warm. But somebody has got to find that perfect opportunity. The one slot, the top corner that Beemore will not find, but maybe Monk will. He's actually gonna find Buddy off the back wall. Josh, awkward touch. Shady, no dunk. Monk, neither. Now ball's gonna try and find its way back to a GSU player, but will be all 3 members of UAH.
UAH really keeping possession of that ball there. You can see the small control touches as Cozen again sending that ball straight out, making some great defense. Josh, again, Josh is always there exactly when you need him to be, making those exquisite saves for his team.
And UAH is not letting GSU get mechanical. Many teams struggle to do this, even the greats like King and UTK. And UAH trying to establish their legacy there this weekend. And so far, it's looking good, but the miss from Cozen might make it just a little awkward. Shady gonna try and use his flip. Will dunk one. Beemore with a great save, and the Savior medal as well. Now we'll see Monk use the corner, but nobody there. Cozen spawns awkwardly, and that might have just given them the few seconds they needed.
Those few seconds they need indeed. TJ, we see Shady trying to make something happen here, but unfortunately the ball is hitting off that top backboard. And oh my god, a beautiful shot coming out from Cozen in the chaos of everything that was happening there. We see some GGs coming out from players in the chat. Cozen seeing that beautiful read. Beemore with the demo. And a fantastic way to go out for UAH.
Critical hit, fatality, ripping GSU to shreds. Going through a player. I didn't see who got the demo, but a massive play from UAH. And again, just like last game, the net finds itself wide open for UAH.
I want to come back in,
Bepic!
take over the stream again.
We gotta-
the camera's still locked on Hana. I don't know.
We gotta get together
I
again.
don't know
We're gonna
why
scoot
that
over.
is. Everyone,
Here,
I'm
I'll-
still here.
I'll get down here.
I got to watch that one from the sidelines, but that was a lot of fun. I'm impressed with UAH.
Very.
I
Absolutely.
wish all of you watching could have seen the inherent Georgia State bias.
Wait a
all
minute.
over
Wait a minute.
the caster. Like whenever they would miss a ball, especially in defense, it'd be like, no, miss.
I've never been biased in
You
my entire
hate
life.
to see it. It's just, I
personally.
mean, any miss you hate to see, and GSU kind of throwing that one away at the end, but At least it's Friday Night Lights and not on LAN.
All right, well, we got 4 minutes before the next series is supposed to start, so we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes, hopefully with with an even closer series next time, because that didn't go nearly far enough in terms of games.
Oh, yeah,
so.
like Game 6 and 2 overtimes. Nah.
Nope. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go too far. All right, we're back with Friday Night Lights. Hopefully a little less scuffed. This time around, we've got a new webcam that will actually focus on each caster evenly. The servers are back up in Rocket League. Hana, it's still hot in the caster room.
78 degrees in the caster room. We are having a great time in our sweatshirt and jacket here, but excited to get into some Rocket League. It is so beautiful and snowing outside, and in Georgia we never get snow, guys, so this has been so exciting.
I know, coming from Athens, Auburn, like, we're not used to snow, especially like just chill snow. That's not going to break everything down. So it's cool. It's a great environment. We're having a good time. That last series was awesome. We get to watch Georgia State again play here. They're taking on Concord, who's one of the higher seeds in tomorrow's BBB, the number 5. And Georgia State, they are number 8 overall. So it's a top 8 matchup here.
You know, I was really rooting for Georgia State here, but after that loss to UAH, I'm really questioning their abilities. And I think Concord might take this game, Bepic.
I don't know. I think they definitely could if Georgia State is making the same mistakes that they did in the last series, because UAH, like, they're not a team that has insane mechanics, but they will punish mistakes and miss rotations. And they were putting together some crazy passing plays that Georgia State really could not stop there. So Concord, they really do have a chance here.
I'm excited to see how this series shakes out. I'm excited for what these series tonight in a whole mean for tomorrow, how our seeding shakes out. Oh, it looks like our teams are getting slowly ready, about to hop into this lobby here.
We're waiting for the players
to
eventually respond. That's the hardest part about these show matches, is actually getting players to respond in game. And they're all out there right now. I wish I could just run over and yell at them, but I don't feel like getting any warmer.
I personally run a 12-13 miles, so you don't want me to run over there.
All right, well, we won't have you run. We'll just wait for Georgia State to be ready. But this is a preview, top 8 matchup, good preview of what's to come this weekend, because I'm expecting both these teams to make it out of groups. I think they're both potential top 4 sides. I think Akron and UTK definitely the favorites.
Absolutely.
To make semifinals, but I think Georgia State and Concord both have chances of breaking out of the quarters as well.
I do believe if Georgia State makes that run, though, they do have to play UTK in...
If they finish second in their group.
If they finish second in their group, they're going to have to play UTK, and that is going to be a really strongly contentious game. And one I think UTK will ultimately come out of.
Yeah, I in my video, my BBB preview video,
go check
go check it out on the YouTube channel, MrBepic. But I have Georgia State, or I had Georgia State. I don't know about after that last series, but I had them as a top 4 team coming into LAN, but I couldn't predict them as a semifinalist because if they finish second against Akron, they run into UTK. So, I mean, we'll see how they perform. I think this Concord series is a real test for them of improvement, because this is their first LAN together.
Right.
They have never played a LAN as a team. I think they've played LANs individually, but not as a team. It's an adjustment.
Absolutely. I mean, being on LAN, and especially right now, sitting directly next to the people you're playing against, has to be crazy. A little bit of a communication with comms and just anxiety overall. Like TJ was talking about, those bragging rights extend farther than just the monitor. You have to stand up and look these people right in the eye after you beat them or after you lose. Waiting for some responses from GSU still. Confused on what they're doing, but hopefully they're having fun.
I told Concord to shout at Georgia State in real life, so hopefully that's the benefit.
They have been ready this whole time. We would like to, we think.
All right, we're joining, and if,
we're joining anyway, guys.
If it doesn't work, we remake the lobby. That is fine. Actually, it's a LAN match, so I have admin privileges, which is honestly the best part about doing a series on LAN. It's not having the players in person, seeing the players, seeing everyone else. It's actually having LAN terms in the lobby. So, we're off. Game 1, and that kickoff is heavily won by Shady Concord. They've had a lot of time to warm up, but that was an awkward start. Monk's got a chance to double. Felix, big block there on the near side, though.
Monk the Dunk not really able to make it out there, but Shady trying to get something over. Unfortunately, nothing coming out, but Helix taking that demo right on Monk and getting that ball over to Pancake. Pancake looking to make a play with ET in the middle, looking for that ball, unfortunately not able to catch it.
Ooh, that's a great read by Shady. They gave Helix space right there, feigned the challenge, and that will force Helix to give the ball up in the midfield, set up a shot for Monk that goes a little high, but Helix on no boost right now, could be taken advantage of, though. Pancake and ET both home there on the goal line. They leave for a moment, so it's kind of spread out for Concord right now defensively, but they're getting the job done.
And Shady still trying to make a play for this GSU team here, but Pancake being there, passing over to Helix. Helix taking that ball to the mid, getting it over Shady, but Monk, again, trying to make a play here. Shady to Helix. Helix sending it back to that back left corner.
Buddy, backwards to play. Georgia State's still going to maintain possession, and through the first minute, 10 seconds or so, it really feels like the Buds have been doing a good job controlling the midfield line. They haven't found a goal to show for all their time spent on the offensive end, but Concord haven't had really many chances either. That's got to be one of their first, with Pancake taking a shot, but Georgia State make the save, find it clear, and now they're back to playing offense again.
And ET trying to make some moves on offense, hitting that over to Helix. Unfortunately intercepted by Shady there. ET still moving that ball down the field. Helix trying to get a bump on Buddy there. ET to the mid. Unfortunately, no shot coming out of that.
Now Pancake retreats. Missed touch right there. Running out of boost. Forced to give that ball right back to the Buds. Helix covers it up. Finds an open net, and that'll be goal 1. Okay, had to make sure it went in, but that's an opening goal for Concord.
What a simple mistake there coming out of GSU, and you have to think that has to do with their last series coming out with that tough loss. Really just not being able to keep those positions and keep those rotations going on.
No, that's, I think, part of the adjustment as well. Playing on land, just getting used to the environment. Those awkward plays are going to happen. You have to get used to it together. Like, see how one another are playing in this land environment, and you don't give Helix space like that. You know that for sure on land. He's got 2 goals and 522 points before the first half bell even rings.
What a beautiful touch there from Helix, going right over and under Buddy. Buddy, unfortunately, not being able to make that save there as we move on. 2 minutes have passed in this game, and we're seeing a really strong start here from this Concord roster.
No kidding. They were backed up a lot to begin this one, but they have since broken out and are full of vengeance at the moment for having to sit back for so long to kick this series off. Now they're the ones forcing Buds to their back wall, but it's a great pass and dunk by Shady. Set himself up for a shot, but interfered with by ET. Solid defense, and Concord. Quick transition here.
Helix again going into this 1v1 situation, continually being the one with the ball downfield for this Concord roster, but ET trying to get that 50 off of Shady, and Pancake unfortunately getting a touch there.
Monkmeister pass across to Shady. Nobody scratch that. That was a little lick of the play. The ball does eventually fall in Shady's lap. We'll put it right back in Monk's open arms, but no shot. Concord has really been doing a good job of staying together on the near side. It really feels like they consistently have at least 2 defenders on the goal line ready for whatever Georgia State's throwing at them. Though Shady double chance. It's a pass. Whatever works. Monk misses the shot though. Clangs it off the corner, and it's another missed opportunity for the Buds.
That missed dunk from Monk. The dunk, unfortunately, is not what we were looking for here, but you see Helix taking possession of the ball. Shady trying to go for this 50. Passing it over to Buddy, who's taking it midfield, down to Monk, but ET taking that ball so close to a shot with Helix with that follow-up.
Good dunk attempts. Concord trying to add to their lead with about 90 seconds left. Is Georgia State, they're getting close to scoring, but they have yet to put anything through the Concord net. Instead, it's Concord doing all the scoring here in game 1. What a play that was. Not sure what happened. Oh, wow. Oh, that was a mid-air demo.
What a hat trick there coming out from Helix. You can see his dominance coming out as one of these players on the team. You see him going for the kickoff there, winning that for his blue team. And ET trying to make something happen, but unfortunately Buddy getting the ball. Buddy to Shady. Shady over Pancake trying to go for the dunk, but a beautiful save by ET.
Inches off again, and now Concord's allowed to transition with Helix feeling confident this game. Hat trick, you're right, just a shade under 800 points in this first game, and you can just see the confidence reeking out of the way he's playing, the ceiling reads he's going for, the pre-jump, just this slow, methodical, mechanical plays, and Georgia State shut down a decent number of Helix's attempts, but just the aggressive challenges he's going for in the offensive zone, you can see how good he's feeling.
There's pure confidence there as you can see him hitting that ball straight over Buddy, but Monk trying to clear it out, but Pancake gonna be right there to get that ball and take it right off of Monk, but Shady up now in that top left corner. Straight to ET, what a read indeed, and Pancake's looking to clear that. There's no GSU offender there.
Pancake's gonna find it clear, and this is gonna get pretty close to closing out game 1. Concord I don't want to say dominant because Georgia State had so much possession that game. But 3-0 looks dominant at the end of the day, and 4-0 looking actually pretty likely. Helix doesn't find a touch right there. So 3-0, the likely goal, the likely final score here in game one. But Georgia State had opportunities there. They just didn't capitalize on them.
I think that's a similar problem we saw Bepic as well in that last series with those continual opportunities, and yet they just could not find that perfect shot. You see Helix with an 800 score there, absolutely leagues above the rest of the team.
Yep, 799, a hat trick, 3 saves tossed in there as well. And Georgia State gonna have to recover. This is the benefit of a best of 7. You have plenty of time to get yourself together. Even despite the loss to UAH Blue, despite the game 1 loss here, I think they'll be all right.
Absolutely. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing more from this Concord roster as well. Seeing some more coming up from Pancake. We see Pancake was there for some of this. Pancake was not there for some of the saves. I apologize. That was Helix. Helix being a dominant player on both offense and defense. Can't keep his name out of my mouth today. We're moving on into game 2.
Georgia State, got to find a response here. Just have to start sinking some of their opportunities, it feels like, and stop Helix in the counterattack because Concord has looked so strong breaking out of defense so far. And on a kickoff, it's looking like a goal. Helix finds the bump. There was no need for that extra bump on the last defender of Georgia State, but he decided not to take the one-timer and go for the crazy play.
It looks like that might have been a pool shot there, Bepic. I think Buddy got that last touch on that. What a fantastic start out for this Concord roster.
That's crazy. Like, you can see, again, just how confident Helix is playing because he didn't just shoot that on the open net. He went for a weird wave dash bump pool shot, first goal of game 2.
What a great way to kick off the series, as well as you see him again taking possession of this ball, trying to move it upfield, but Monk's there looking for Shady. Shady looking for Monk, taking that ball off him, sending it mid to Buddy, but unfortunately Pancake is going to follow up.
Okay, that's a little weird. Pancake had no boost right there in front of his own net, but Georgia State didn't feel confident enough to move forward, and I think for good reason, because these counterattacks have been lethal for Concord here. That one was almost thrown back in their face, but he's back in time. Buddy a chance on a somewhat open net. Helix snuffs the play out, gets back, makes the read. Concord is just so stout on both ends of the pitch at the moment.
Such a well-oiled machine on defense. You can see those passes back and forth just continually and slowly trying to move that ball up the field. But Buddy doesn't care about that, trying to make this challenge, but Pancake wins that 50. And now as I say that, Monk is winning that 50. Helix is going to get back out with a fantastic save and clear.
It's a hard first touch for Monk. Uses the flip reset to keep the ball going center. Buddy is trying to finish the play off, and the ball to the back wall of Concord, but Georgia State, the setups, they look fancy. They're pretty good for the most part. It's just those finishing touches that aren't quite there, the passes that aren't quite connecting. And Concord able to survive a lot of offensive attempts out of the Buds because of that. And right there, Monk not there for the second touch. Buddy shot just off. Here, slightly awkward defense, but Concord makes the read.
Concord again really holding strong against this offense here coming out from GSU. And now they're straight back on offense as Pancake goes up for that shot. Buddy with a quick save there. That GSU team, the Helix, not letting that pressure relent as ET stays in that midfield to Helix. Helix searching for a teammate, but Pancake unfortunately not able to make it in time as Monk applies that pressure onto the GSU net. Unfortunately, nothing's coming out of it.
And a slight change I want to make to the narrative of this series as well is that Concord's goal line defense has been immaculate as well, and it's set up these counterattacks that have been so lethal. I don't want to just chalk it up to Georgia State missing. Concord has been phenomenal on the goal line, and here in the offensive zone, similar deal. Bump there on the near side, going to open up something for whoever wants to step up and take the ball. Pancake bides his time at 100 boost to make a play happen, but it's shut down by Georgia State right there.
See Georgia State's biggest nightmare here. Helix taking solo control of that ball, but quickly losing it. Buddy RV going up for that shot, but Pancake. Great save there. Great little redirect, and Helix trying to get a small touch on it to send it mid, but it looks like Pancake taking possession. Buddy moving that ball up that side of the field. Shady with the redirect. Unfortunately, not going much of anywhere.
Nice boost grab as well. I think that was Helix that just jumped underneath Shady to grab that 100 boost and make sure Shady didn't have the boost for potential counter on the Concord end. So we keep playing in the same corner. No one seems to want to leave it. The ball does quickly. Hops across the Georgia State goal line, but no one was there for the finisher. Concord playing it safe right now, not wanting to overextend too far. They've got a 1-goal lead that, until Georgia State actually gets a goal in this series, I think is pretty safe.
Absolutely. You can see them really playing with confidence on that defensive side, too. Georgia State's offense has really been trying to get something past those defenders, but it doesn't really look like it's happening. And as I say that, that ball is back on the Georgia State side. Looks like Shady there getting a quick save, but Pancake with a demo on Buddy, trying to make something happen. ET to Helix. Helix getting demoed by Monk. Looks like there's an open net, and that defender is there. Buddy taking possession of that ball over to Helix and sending it back over to Monk.
Great first man challenge by Concord right there. Helix's touch, not great, but Georgia State, again, can't do anything with the interception in the midfield. Right now, Concord a little bunched up at the midfield line, but it's a phenomenal bicycle hit out of ET. Slammed it deep into the Georgia State end, and they're backed up at the moment. Have to make difficult saves like that, but nice block by Monk.
All three of those players from Concord being pushed up here really allow for those rebounds and for that continual offensive pressure, but they so quickly get back to keep that ball in play, and Pancake sending it back up to ET, just keeping that ball on the GSU side, and it looks like it's going in, but oh, and as I say that, Helix going for that rebound, but Pancake missing it a little quite there.
That's a good beat by Helix. Buddy's got control, but no boost. Forced off the play again. Helix has plenty of boost in the tank. Leaves the ball alone, as Shady was coming at him. And now Georgia State, maybe one last opportunity in regulation. That's a miss. It's followed up by a double coming out of Concord, but they recover. They find it clear, and Helix should end this game. But he's looking for more. Pass center. Allows the ball to stay up on 0. Pancake using ET to ground it. And if Concord decides to let this ball drop, the game's over, but somehow it's still in the air.
And looks like they were going for that last shot, but unfortunately not quite able to make it. We see Concord take this game. Bepic, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like Georgia State, for as dynamic as their offense usually is, looks like an incomplete team right now.
Absolutely.
They're having to make a lot of stops in defense. Well, that game they had to make a lot of stops in defense relative to how much possession they had in Game 1. And Game 1, they still lost by 3 goals. Concord is phenomenal. On their goal line, at the midfield line, they are just reading everything perfectly.
And I feel like there's a difference in communication there. That Concord team is consistently exactly where they need to be. Those plays are happening, those rotations are happening, and I think that's something that's unfortunately just missing in Buds, but not sure if you can fault them for that, being a newer team again, being their first time on LAN.
Yeah, Concord is an experienced team. I think this is the same roster that played at BBB last semester, and they made a run there as well. So Concord is solid. So it is not bad for Georgia State at all if they end up dropping this series. Concord has come into it locked in, and they have continued a 5-goal scoring spree now into Game 3.
Helix just making a great opening statement here for this Concord roster. You love to see it. It looks like that pass from ET on that kickoff, quick kickoff goal. We have 6 seconds already gone in this game, but 1 goal up.
Off kickoff. Buddy gets faked by Pancake. Little taste of his own medicine for all the fakes he was going for in the UAH series. But 2 up right there. Georgia State trying to use the power of friendship for a goal, and even that can't break through Concord's back line. It's another clear for ET and company.
You see Pancake here going up for that ball on that backboard. Unfortunately, no one's really there to make that read. ET trying to redirect it back into that GSU half. Shady keeping that pressure up, that bump on ET, just enough to make him awkward, but nothing too hard for him. He gets that ball back.
So in Game 3 right now, Concord has not faltered yet in this series. They've yet to concede, and they've got a match against UTK coming up at the top of the hour, more than likely early, if this series keeps going in the direction it looks like it's going in. And that one could be a heater, especially if Concord's somehow able to keep Georgia State scoreless for the entirety of this best-of-7, because a perfect sweep of the Buds at Georgia State that's a feat to behold.
That is going to mess up my bracket for sure, Bepic. Let's be honest. And Helix trying to mess up that bracket for me. Applying that pressure, Pancake being right there, and ET going again. But making it there just in time was one of the GSU defenders.
So right now, Concord, they're bashing the woodwork in on the Georgia State goal line. That time they're bashing the noggin of Monk in as he makes a tough save on his own goal line. Shady allowed a flip reset and a teammate center, but He's not even allowed to get the ball to his teammate in time to shoot. Instead, Monk has to play it up the sidewall, wait to hit the ball. Gets it to Shady, though. It's an opportunity, but again, there's someone there for Concord. And even right now, they're spread out. Pancake has little boost, but Georgia State not allowed an opportunity to shoot.
I can't help but respect this Concord roster. I mean, they are showing why they are seated so highly in this tournament, and they're just playing so fantastically. You see ET kind of stalling in the midfield here, trying to allow one of his teammates to get the ball. GSU applying that offensive pressure. Munt going up for this. Helix, ET. All defenders are immediately there.
And they're in the perfect position, too. Like, they're not just on the goal line, but they were both at the perfect spot where Monk was trying to play that ball. And despite all this continuous possession from Buds, Concord has not once looked like they've been out of position. Right there, actually, they kind of did. Pancake was a little awkward on the near side, but even then, makes the save, and now Helix has a chance to clear. Can't beat Shady. Ball's dropping down, but Pancake finds a teammate out in the corner, and they are making Buds play coast to coast, corner to corner, as Buddy shoots it right into Pancake.
What a nerve-wracking play here for some GSU fans, and Monk is going up for that shot, but Helix staying on that backboard and able to make all of those saves. Such a fantastic showing of defense there. Pancake trying to follow up with a fantastic showing of offense. ET dunking it down, and a beautiful shot there right into that upper left corner.
Make it 6 straight now. Pancake sets it up, just a light tap that spreads the Buds defense out. Buddy can't make the read, and that double is on target. You better believe it. ET on point in game 3 to make it 2-0 for Concord.
What a dominant series here, and I know scoreline doesn't always mean dominance, but I feel like they're just right every time, this Concord roster. Those 2 demos coming out from Helix, leaving it open for ET. Wow is right. Wow is about all I can say after that one.
All right, if you can count to 7, you know what kind of spree Concord is still on. That's 7 straight goals across 2 games and some change at this point. Georgia State, at this point, it's just the same thing over and over again. This best of 7 has become just a record skipping over and over again with Georgia State. Plenty of possession, can't finish their shots, or they're saved by Concord. Then counterattack mode, Concord scores on Georgia State. That's a chance for Buds, but again, Concord there on the goal line. The record skips once more.
What a chance there for GSU, and they're looking for another one, but Pancake is there to clear that ball away. Helix taking back possession, sending it to his teammate Pancake, and then sending that to that back left corner. Helix trying to go for a shot here. Was looking for a demo, it looked like, but unfortunately not able to get one in. That pass to Buddy was just a little off. Pancake not taking that disrespect. Immediate demo.
Helix got over 2 with that. Buddy was third man, and he read it. It was a slow air dribble across the midfield line, but still, Helix feeling it, though ET and Pancake have both had huge moments in this series as well. What started out as the Helix show in game 1 has really just become the Concord show across 3 games of this best of 7. That's a ball across the net, but Buddy, his third man, couldn't commit aggressively for that ball with his 2 teammates in the corner. But eventually, Georgia State's going to have to start throwing whatever they can at the Concord net. Just go with reckless abandon, see if you can find your first goal.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're trying to here, but I stand corrected. Pancake making a really strong statement. Again, getting this ball over all of those GSU defenders, trying a pass to Helix, and it looks like ET's going up middle for that. Like, go for a dunk down, and Pancake, Pancake and Helix were both there, but unfortunately not able to capitalize on that for Concord.
And with 10 seconds left, it looks more likely Concord's going to score another goal than Buds get on the board here. Helix trying to beat Monk, but it's still speedy, even on the goal line, even in garbage time in game 3. Still a goose egg on the board for Buds. Concord having their way with their BBB opponent here on Friday Night Lights.
Again, they're going for another shot. You can see that ego coming out here from a few of our Concord players. Trying to keep this up, looking for an opportunity to score, just passing back and forth, you know. Looks like a little practice drill for them right now, Bepic.
I love it when even in a blowout game like that, both teams are still trying to keep the ball up on 0 seconds, still trying to score something. And for Georgia State, I kind of get it. Just find a goal here to break up the perfect sweep. And for Concord, I also kind of get it. Just keep the scoring going.
Absolutely. What a great series. This entire series has had my heart racing. I've been super excited and honestly happy my prediction did not go the way it was supposed to, Bepic. We wouldn't have seen that fantastic showing from these Concord boys, and we're looking like to be on match point right now in our best of 7. Concord is 3-0 to Buds. We're jumping into this game pretty quickly.
Yeah, they were actually ready to immediately hop into game 4. I think Buds is eager to get the reverse sweep started, and Concord's easy to get UTK on the other side of the pitch against them. That will be a fun best of 7 to close out the night, with UTK being a lot of people's favorites to be that grand finalist against Akron.
Absolutely. You say Akron like it's locked in. I'd love to hear that because it sounds like my predictions were correct. You see Buddy trying to make a play here. And it looks like Monk is really trying to set that up for him. Continual pressure from GSU coming out a lot more aggressively than they have in these previous games. We love to see that there. Monk still trying to keep that possession over Helix. Helix not taking that for an answer. Pancake challenging and still keeping that ball on that Concord side.
Oh, good bump. I like that from Shady. Keep Concord pinned back. Unfortunately, though, even when they're put in those awkward situations, they've been able to break out fairly easily. Here's another awkward situation on the other side of the field that Helix is going to take control of and clear for Buds, helping them out just a little bit in defense. And it's a little weird right now at Utopia Dusk.
Those across the goal passes are really stressing me out there. Just looking for that GSU defender to really come in and capitalize on that, but unfortunately not able to make it. And as I say that, Buddy RV is going up for that shot, and Shady trying to follow up, but still can't find anything. Shady looking like he's going to turn on this over one. Pancake gets that right over him, but Monk going back in, trying to make a quick shot on ET, unfortunately not looking to go in.
Nope, another good save by Concord. Another great counterattack by Concord. That's just in. What a shot out of ET from way in outer space. Pancake found him, and ET knew what to do with that ball.
That is such a great example of solid communications from your teammates. Otherwise, how would he have been there? They were both set up perfectly, ready to make that shot and ready to make that statement as we dwindle down to about 3 minutes left in this game.
All right, Buds. You're down 8-0 aggregate in this series. I just want to see a goal. Like, if they score a goal, that would be more hype, I feel like, than a Game 7 overtime winner at this point. I'm just eager to see one of their shots, one of their good-looking opportunities, which there have been plenty of, to go in.
I might jump up and down here if they make a shot, Bepic, but Pancake not wanting to see me do that. Monk quickly challenging him there. Shady trying to play this slowly. Very interesting. Going over one, potentially over ET, and Helix is there every time on that backboard.
Eventually, someone's just got to dive in for that kind of play. Like the Shady flip reset, going for a bump. Go. Trust your teammate to get that. At this point, something has got to change here. But Concord still finding saves, still finding demos. Avenging his teammate there was Helix. Monk off the back wall, straight into the opposite corner. No one's going to be able to score from that. In fact, Helix is going to be able to clear the zone. And actually, I stand corrected. He almost scored on that. It's still going to stay 1-0, but Concord very close to getting a second.
What amazing pressure there from Concord trying to get the goal in, but Shady trying to send another answer pack for GSU, but these players are just going back and forth and back and forth. Looking like a game of ping pong here, Bepic, with some of these long clears, but fortunately, ET stalling here in mid, looking what he's going to do.
That's an illegal move in ping pong. You can't flip reset in that game. But there's a goal! Shady just trusted that Helix was going to miss that for some reason, and despite all of that chaos in the midfield, Shady's going to get a goal out of it. I can understand going for that because Shady was not there Helix was not there on Shady's screen.
What a fantastic shot from Shady. And apologies to chat for screaming. Got really excited there. Was waiting for that moment as Bepic and I were just talking about. And let's see if GSU continues capitalizing on that momentum. You see Buddy here trying to do something with Pancake, keeping good possession of that ball. Looking like he's taking it up this back corner. Shady quickly answering.
Now Buddy faking Helix off. No, Helix stays on that. Doesn't bite on any kind of fake for Buddy. So his greatest asset not working out right there. Concord afforded a little bit of offense. Big dunk from Pancake, but Monk there on the goal line. We'd see next up in rotation for Concord. Helix there for a crazy double if he gets that in, but it stays out to the side and Concord come up empty-handed.
Almost a beautiful play there from Helix, but it looks like some of those Concord players retreated to make sure they have enough boost to keep this offensive pressure going, but Shady doesn't want them to. Shady's trying to make a statement here for this GSU team and get them the lead in this series. Unfortunately, not looking to happen unless Buddy can make something happen here. Shady going for that ball above Pancake. Pancake gets a slight touch on it, altering their plans.
Shady has touched the ball. Oh my word, Shady controlled the ball so well. That play touched it maybe 9 or 10 times, and it formulated in a team pinch that, again, if it goes on, is probably the best goal we see tonight, but it's off, so Georgia State try again, and they're once more denied by Pancake on the goal line.
We have to talk about Pancake and his defense played there in this entire series. He has been there every single time, and it looks like he's going to continue to be right there. Another great pinch coming out from that GSU team.
And with 20 seconds left, overtime looking very likely right now, unless Buddy finds a shot that Helix can't save, and got a shot, but Helix found the block. 10 now on the clock in Game 4, and with how one-sided Concord has made this series feel at times, this would be a crazy result if Georgia State can nab it in Game 4. Get that reverse sweep started. The ball stays up on 0 seconds, but it is eventually grounded. Concord not interested in any kind of 0-second shenanigans. We get OT.
Helix was quick to send that ball down. They're looking to reset. They're looking to start this OT fresh and on a clean slate. And oh my God! Looking to end that OT quick as well. What a pass from ET to Helix. He found him perfectly. Helix was there set up for the perfect redirect, effectively winning Concord this series.
It's crazy. We've had 2 series-winning goals that have been redirects. One from Skyline in the first series, now one from Helix in our third. Concord called game with that one. Georgia State made it close. Credit to them for regaining in that 4th game.
Absolutely.
But Concord was a formidable foe there.
They're making me want to rewrite some of my bracket predictions for tomorrow, Bepic, that's for sure.
It's not too late. The LAN hasn't started yet. This is unofficial BBB play.
This is just us having fun.
Exactly. We're just having fun right now and learning some more about just how good Concord is. But Hannah, that's going to do it for you in the booth tonight. I appreciate you joining me. You'll see more of her tomorrow on the actual LAN desk, not our little put-together room that Greta was so nice to give us. But all right, that's going to take us to a break. UTK and Concord up next in a best of 7 to cap off Friday Night Lights at BBB.
Woo!
I'll see you in a second after
chat.
I stall for time to get the transition up.
We're stalling. Woo! Bye.
See you in a second. All right, welcome back to Friday Night Lights. We have one final series on the docket tonight, UTK and Concord, which, after how Concord played that last series against GSU, TJ, this should be a good one.
Yeah, as a GSU fanboy, as a Georgia player, and it's just a little upsetting to see, but it's a great showing from the Concord side. They look really good. This is a tournament where they have a huge chance for this to be a proving ground, and tonight they take on arguably the kings of the Southeast in UTK. Shaka, Jobro, and Crisp have upset every living team in the league, and tonight they find themselves against arguably what could be their toughest opponent of the weekend until Akron comes into town. But for now, we'll see how this first game goes.
All right, Crisp is definitely the player to watch right now. I think everyone knows that coming into BBB. Outside of Akron, he is probably one of the best players in the entire tournament. He's the newest pickup for UTK, freshman this year, didn't play last semester for the Rocket League team, but he's the highlight reel play. And hold on a second, I think someone hit that off the crossbar that wasn't supposed to right there. Concord's gonna get the first goal.
In a classic DJ TJ / Bepic stream, the crossbar finds its way into our voices every time, and unfortunately for UTK, it goes into their own net, but an early good goal for Concord.
Of course, to Joe to be own goaling, to open up this series. I know UTK's not as warm as Concord's going to be, having played a best of 7 already. UTK got a couple games in, so I'm expecting this game to be a little sluggish from them, which is typically how they usually start. We saw that on Monday Night Lights against King. They dropped game 1 and then blew them out the next 4 games. So I'm expecting a slowish start from the Volunteers, but Concord, they could keep a fast start going with how they played that last one.
Yet, especially with how they played the last one, it was almost completely unfair. And then going into that game 4, getting the incredible play off the backboard, it might be replicated by UTK, but a very rare miss from the UTK offense.
And Crisp faking that one. I'll give it to him. Dobro was back, but he was a little too far back to feel that back pass from Crisp out of the corner. Problem for Shaka. Dump it off to Crisp, but there's a pancake there. Another interception for Concord, and that's 2-0.
Very quick 2-0. Unfortunate for Shaka, just caught too far up. Yeah, third man was too far up, and you get caught there, and Concord will not give you the light of day to get away with that one. 2-0.
2-0, yeah. Concord, fast start. 90 seconds in. We'll see what happens with UTK can actually establish some offense here. As Shaka's got an opportunity off kickoff, but ET has been reading that since the start of the Buds at GSU series that they just got out of. The backline defense of Concord was what impressed me the most. I feel like in that best of 7, the amount of opportunities they were stopping against Georgia State and just making difficult enough for the Buds to where they would miss.
What's even more incredible about this Concord roster is just how far they've come in such a short time period. E.T. Holm, a previous scholarship player for Bruton Parker, a CRL program, then deciding to leave that program and to try and come lead his own legacy at Concord, as they're not going to find the shot there, but they look so good so soon.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I completely forgot. He played for Bruton Parker. I casted a LAN that he won about 2 years ago, and so he's an experienced player that knows how to play on LAN. And he's taking a pot shot right there that Crisp is going to be able to save, but that explains, I feel like, some of the comfort that this Concord roster seems to be demonstrating tonight. Obviously, they were here at BBB in the fall, but just have looked so comfortable from the get-go against all their opponents.
And especially for me, just very recently, getting involved in the community has hold my point. Shaka's going to make it 2-1.
All right, Shaka redeems himself just a little bit for that mistake that led to the second goal for Concord as Pancake and Helix get tied up there on the goal line, and Shaka punishes. Well done, UTK.
They will slowly find their way into this game, like you mentioned, and we have seen this team be digging themselves out of holes, out of rough situations. They have played in almost 90-degree heat before. This team has gone through the adversity, and this match is no different. A huge demo, but the shot doesn't come through. Well, at least not just yet. Jobro ties it up at 2 apiece.
It's so kind of Shaka to let Jobro have that one because Shaka got to make up for his mistake with a goal. Jobro's the one that made the mistake earlier, own goaling to give Concord there first, so he gets the goal to make up for his, and just like that, we're tied up.
very selfless play from Shaka. You love to see it, as that was 1,000% his intention. But a very quick turnaround here as Concord's going to try and get this off the corner to the middle. But so far, Blue met by Jobro, who was then met in the midfield by Pancake. But now, here we go with the counterattack. This UTK side, they move so quick, but second man not there just yet.
Oh, Chris can turn on this, and he's got a lot of boost left to turn on it. Flip reset picks the ball up over Pancake's head, but Helix has control. Falls off it, though, and that's not something you saw very often in the last series. Helix was on his A game to begin the Buds at GSU series that Concord just played, but right here, no longer the case. He's a little weird right there in the corner.
And this is the storyline to watch. You have Concord, a team that in the Southeast is fairly recent to things, and now they get the chance against GSU, a team that in the power rankings is in the top 4, top 6. No matter who's ranking them, they are extremely high. But then you find yourselves against the #1 team, and top to bottom, they find a way to score on you.
And that is why UTK is being rated so highly this season in the SCL and BBB all over, because they are such a deep roster of goal scorers. That was just Shaka right there. And honestly, he could roast me for this, I would peg him as the least mechanical player on the roster. That's how mechanical all 3 UTK players are, and he's hitting that. Chris didn't have to do a thing right there to get UTK up by 2.
Hey, I'll double down on that point. I have to go home with this guy tonight to the Airbnb. No, I do agree, but Shaka, even though not making up for the offensive ability, he still finds his way into demos, into the right rotations, and plays a really good third-man role. Something that I don't think Concord is used to, because you play GSU, a super mechanical team, similar on that front, but the defense lacking for GSU and lacking for UTK here.
And there are still weaknesses in this UTK team. Don't let our compliments prove otherwise. That's a pure mistake by Jobro on the goal line. Didn't get a powerful enough touch. He was awkward on the ball, and Helix was right there to punish. Concord is fast enough. They will be all over mistakes like that.
Helix with a chip on his shoulder, leading this team offensively from what we've seen, and I'm very excited to see what they do in their group. And honestly, I know that you and Hana talked about this at the end, but I might look to change my predictions, especially since the biggest fight they have to take is USC, but they have to try and get through tonight alive. UTK holding on to this 1-goal lead just barely, but Helix has other thoughts, not going to be able to follow up though.
Oh, crisp. Going for a redirect there, and it just turns into a hit that goes laterally instead of into Concord's end, but it sets up a clear into that blue side, and UTK is able to kill a lot of clock right now with Crisp, even on 0 boost, still picks the ball up, gets it into the box of Concord, and forces them to work from their goal line as we're in the waning moments of Game 1.
If you're looking for the 1v1 in this series, it's got to be Helix versus Crisp, and though that play goes unnoticed by many, being able to stall that time and get this down to the last few seconds, almost grounding it himself, but it's not over just yet. Helix to ET, who's going to use the backboard, but we'll see Crisp fake it. Another incredible play by him. UTK takes Game 1.
All right, that was scary though at the end. If UTK is still making mistakes at the pace that they were defensively in that game, this is going to be a seriously close series, as Concord was given a lot of opportunities based on errors from the Volunteers in defense. And while the offense made up for that for UTK, Concord's going to start getting going as they start to figure out how UTK plays the game. And that means they're going to create their own goal scoring opportunities, and UTK could be in trouble if those mistakes are there.
And the outlook of this series, I mean, we would love to have a final Game 7, but if you look at the saves and the shots, they are dead even. 5 saves, 9 shots for both teams. It's going to come down to that one mistake, that one missed touch, and we'll see which team makes it first in Game 2.
All right, here we go. UTK stepping into Game 2 with the series lead, winning that initial kickoff, but ET, the full boost tank, some space to work with, a Shaka in his face, it's not a problem. This Helix plays underneath him, and Concord off the kickoff with the first possession, nearly first shot of the game, but that one just a little bit too far across the goal line.
Helix looking dangerous already, hasn't dropped much of a beat, missing a few opportunities there, but Crisp is someone we're familiar with who may not miss it, but unfortunately can't complete that opportunity.
Jobro taking a shot as Crisp was in net, harassing Pancake right there, but Pancake gets out, finds a shot on, that Crisp is back for. Concord using these clears to set up offensive opportunities well. Eventually, if they can keep these tries going, get touches like that, throw the balls off. Then those shots are going to start falling as slowly they're trying to wear UTK down, but here should be a clear opportunity as we get the ball out.
And Pancake with an awkward touch here. Shaka's got the chance to double this down, will be met by ET though. Concord very quickly rotating around each other's mistakes. Comms at an all-time high for them right now. In the perfect spacing between these shots. They are still in the right place on the other side of the field. UTK a little awkward, but Shaka gonna try and flip this one out.
Finds Joe Bro. Longtime teammates connecting to get out of defense, but Helix has some space that Crisp quickly takes away. Pancake low on boost, just hits that ball center, and that is dangerous. UTK can do a lot with those kinds of opportunities, but Concord back in time to defend it, and ET a much better clear this time around.
And ET with an opportunity to maybe get a flip reset, but not enough boost in the tank to do so. Ball's going to find its way middle off of Joe Bro's hood, but back into Helix. Again, the positioning of these teams is so critical as Shaka finds himself a little too far up once again and leaves it for Chris, who takes a great 50. Joe taking one as well, and now the pressure's starting to build over one player, but not over the second, actually will. Shaka trying to get past that last player, but the bump doesn't fall.
And now it's a race back. Crisp is going to be there on the goal line. Plays it out to the corner, but that has given Concord time to step up, take away territory from UTK, which that 50-50 will gain right back. Beautiful challenge by Joe Bro. Tried to take a shot right there, but Helix cut him off on the near side. ET, a miss in the corner. That's more awkward play defensively out of Concord. But Pancake had his teammates back and able to clear the zone.
As we find ourselves halfway through this game, you'll notice 2 fat zeros on the top of the scoreboard. These teams slowly starting to get more warm. We're starting to see the UTK that we know as Shaka almost showing his offensive prowess once again. But Chris trying to lead his way in, and it's going to be a dunk from Joe, bottom left for the Vols.
All right, I got to see this again. Because that ball is set up, but Helix has the read. Crisp gets it down. Okay, Pancake came off the back wall there instead of having all 4 wheels on the ground. And that's a bit of an easy dunk for Joe Bro. He just has to position his car right, and that is a goal for the UTK Volunteers.
Pancake getting to that ball as close as he physically could, but it's just not enough. And Shaka with the pre-jump, Crisp with a very awkward pinch, or maybe it was intentional since Joe Bro was ready, and Joe immediately on the attack. This UTK side moves so quick out of their half. Shaka to Joe, but not gonna fall.
Now Crisp off the side ball, just takes a shot. Helix has it read. Concord very good about always having a man on the goal line. Their rotations are passive enough and in sync enough, where that's usually the case. Redirect pass up, Pancake lays it off to the side, and that was a little disjointed from Concord as he tried to break out, and it's just a little too weird.
Flip reset from ET for the first time tonight. I believe we're seeing Concord get a little awkward. UTK, the point that I was going to make at the earlier part of game 2 was that UTK has a strong third man, someone that you can always count on no matter who it is, and then they'll turn around and hit shots like this, but he looks ready for that one.
Oh, now he's past Joe Bro. I get through Crisp, but a phenomenal 50-50. We'll give Crisp now space off the side ball. Hard hit there. That Concord is prepared for. Helix has been trying those redirects all game long, and that one, the closest one so far to going in.
This last 60-second timer starting to take in the minds of the side, but so far not going to fall. We'll see UTK trying to waste as much time as they can. Crisp using his boost, delaying his flicks, trying to work over one. Does make it so awkward, and ET giving maybe a little too much space, but the bump from Helix may just go top bends, and it's going to tie it at 1 apiece.
Look at this bump play from the start. ET is able to get it over Joe Bro. Helix was just trying to clear Shaka, but instead puts himself in a great position to finish that play with a goal. That was a beautiful counter from Concord, and that is what I expected out of them once this series really got going.
It was such good of a play that I didn't even see the vision at first. I saw ET stall out and try to wait for whatever it was, and next thing I know, Helix has the bump, and Shaka getting a little awkward. This momentum starting to switch towards the Concord side. We'll see Chris, though, with the boost and the opportunity to go for a flip reset, but a double demo from ET. The counterattack's imminent here. We'll see Crisp get beat, but the ball's hit a little too far. We'll see Shaka try and get out, but a bump's going to throw him away.
Pancake, attacked by Crisp. Over a win as well. It's a double for UTK. Now Pancake can turn on this. Leaves it for Helix. Wasn't able to turn on it, so sticks in the play, puts it center, and there's no one there. UTK an opportunity in transition. That Helix is able to stop, and we won't get
Oh, let
overtime
him go.
just yet. Helix is going to go for the game winner on 0.
Oh.
And that was a lot of build-up for nothing. We get OT in game 2.
You just saw the 1v1 of the day. Crisp and Helix. Crisp looking Concord's defense down the barrel of the gun, but not going to find the target, but ET will. 2-1 Concord.
Only took 7 seconds for Concord to steal game 2. Helix, he sets it up. ET knocks it down. It's a slow roller to put it in, but Joe Bro awkward on the near side, couldn't get back for it. Concord, they answer back in game 2.
Very quick turnaround for the for the Concord side. An absolute just dismantling from UTK's defensive side. Not as even on the shot distribution. Concord leading the way in shots and saves. So looking dominant on the stat sheet, and if UTK can find a little more connection in the counterattacks, they may be able to wheel their way back in.
Concord adjusted so well that game to UTK's attack. I think they racked up something like 4, 5, 6 saves, somewhere in that realm, against UTK, who put up 4 goals in the span of about 3 minutes in game 1 of this series. So credit to Concord for really improving their backline defense and their ability to make saves against a much more potent UTK attack. But into game 3, now it's Concord starting off on the front foot, forcing UTK to play off their back line.
And not just Concord, but how about Pancake being the one to initiate that pressure? We've seen ET do a good job at playing the second man role, and Helix is going to do what he does best, and that's score the dang ball. But now we'll see UTK try and do it. 3 defenders from Concord come out, and the counterattack's back on.
Joe Bro in the corners, waiting for Crisp to finish his play as front man. Got the rotation, it works out, was able to interfere with ET enough to give Shaka an easy save on the goal line. Now, plenty of boost transition, but that hard touch grants ET a save, and Concord once again surviving a UTK attack.
And now Crisp trying to get out, but now it's going to be ET finding Joe, looking for Pancake, but Pancake, both teams playing such smart defense, he opted to go back, and it might have saved his team a goal there.
Shaka downfield. ET planted off the back wall, but now Joe Bro taking a shot that's a bouncer. That can throw off the defense if they're expecting a heater, but Concord wasn't right there. So, back and forth. We continue to go in game 3. This one evening out after we saw Concord, UTK rather, get their offense started in game 1. It slowed in game 2. Game 3, same deal, going back and forth.
And golden opportunities switched there while we were analyzing. Concord getting a massive chance off the touch from Helix, but that shot doesn't fall. Then UTK has a 3-on-1 that they can't complete. Those are opportunities that you just can't let up. But now, there's still going to be one, but a huge save comes out, who from, I believe, was Pancake.
And we're going to keep trading aerial opportunities. Pancakes upfield this time around, following that great defensive effort. Looking for bumps on the UTK defensive line. Couldn't find enough to set up a goal. 2 minutes in, no goals for either side. Demo there going to break up UTK's play. And Helix off that same side wall he's tried so many times to set a play up with. And that was it, if Chris doesn't make the block.
A massive save from him, and if I'm UTK, or I'm a fan of UTK, here's what you should notice through this broadcast. Every time we have seen a Concord demo, they have been on ball cam. I have yet to see players switch off. Now granted, Rocket League's a little buggy, so I may be completely wrong, but they just know where to be. They know where UTK is going to be. They have the download on this team, and it's feeling like a matter of time before we see something in the back of the net.
Half a game gone. Shaka, full tank of boost, but Pancake on the near side finds the stop. He'll stick with it, but so will Shaka. No boost warrior at the moment, taking on the entirety of Concord and setting up Crisp now for an opportunity for a center ball and another interception. Pancake makes the read. Concord is reading everything UTK is trying at the moment.
And so many defenders get anxious when Crisp is in the air, but you just saw it there that I'm not even sure what's happening now is when the bump comes through, but a save comes out from Helix. I mean, hey, he can play both sides of the ball. How about both teams?
What? ET's just missed. That ball bounces awfully. No one is interested in scoring the ball at the moment. Not even the Rocket League pitch allowing an easy opportunity to score for either side. That bounce off the bottom wall ramp is crazy.
And just like that, teams are right back into their motion. You see Concord finding a pass, but then UTK trading a bump. One man back, it's ET with no boost, but somehow manages to get over Joe. Now Pancake, a Similar situation. It's going to be slowly going towards the net there, and Helix is ready for it. Now look at Helix running downfield, trying to clear a path for his teammate. Maybe a bump over one. We'll get it middle. Pancake. Top end's not going to fall.
What a save by Joe Bros to use the crossbar to help get that ball to stay out. Now Crisp in transition, set up by that save. Out of his teammate, nothing there. Helix dodges a demo attempt by Joe Bro. Crisp, it's an neutral 50-50. That leaves Shaka all alone in defense. He'll dive in as the third man. Nearly gets a shot out of it, but gets the ball to Crisp, and that pass or shot off either way.
That point alone is enough. You're getting here into crunch time. Not a single goal has been scored, and even Crisp struggling to make up his mind of what he wanted to do there. Both sides getting a little frisky out of their back half, trying to find each other. Now, golden opportunity, big dunk comes out. Not going to fall, though. Now it leaves 2 UTK players against a 3, but a quick turn from Joe is going to change the momentum.
Crisp is going to intercept that pancake back wall clear. Keeping it on the UTK offensive side. Concord's having to play awkward defense at the moment. UTK with an open-ish net. Joe Bro a soft lob towards it, though. Allows ET to get back. Shaka has a man center, takes a light touch though, and Pancake's going to be all over that. 0-0 overtime in Game 3.
Game 3 overtime, tied at 1 apiece. Momentum is pivotal in games like these where the series is tied and Concord almost switching it just like that.
Another save for ET, racking them up this game. It's only 2, but Concord as a team racking them up. Joe Bro looking to add another save potentially. The Concord side. Pancake doesn't even let that get close to the goal line. Joe Bro run interference awkwardly, but that just blows up the UTK defensive try. There was no one left on the goal line, and Helix plays awkwardly enough to capitalize on that.
Helix, goalless, they don't go together in a sentence. He may have had 0 before. He finds 1 when it matters most. Concord keeping it close. 2-1 in the series.
All right, I got to see the save numbers right here. Only 4.
Okay.
But UTK
Yeah,
had 4
4
shots. They saved everything UTK threw at them and then put up 9 on the other end. Concord is forcing UTK's offense to play Rocket League on hard mode, it looks like.
You can feel the Concord side grabbing the leash of the Volunteers, and it's slowly starting to space out. Last 2 games, extremely close. Game 3, the first one that statistically looks simply one-sided, but still a very close series, very close games as now we find our way into Game 4.
2 OT wins for Concord. That demonstrates just how close it is right now. We'll see if they can get a win in regulation, balloon their lead to 3-1 in this best of 7. UTK, though, trying to respond, and Crisp is the man to lead that charge, but ET making it as hard as possible for the standout player on the pitch right now. Sorry, not right now, coming into the series, really. Crisp has been kind of a non-factor, honestly.
Almost dead silent that you would have thought it was December on a cold winter night. And so far, he's just not finding his opportunities. He started off so strong in Game 1. As a huge touch comes out from Joe, and now Chris does beat a player there. And now if Joe can get to this ball, it's looking good for UTK. But he takes the demo. What a read from ET.
No kidding. Joe Bro had jumped like high into the air, and ET is still able to find the demo and interfere again with another UTK counterattack. It is just awkward and disjointed from the Volunteers in offense, made in large part due to Concord's rotations back, just kind of chipping away at UTK players. If they're on the ball, sticking around like that, Felix popping that up. He should not be going for that ball if it's just a normal textbook rotation, but it works. It keeps Concord in offense, and they score off the back of it.
Very few teams in the Southeast or in CRL in general have a player special enough to somehow grab Boost from out of the ground regardless of how many paths he finds and stay on the ball, and that is what's giving Concord the edge. Helix playing his role, leading his team.
ET, chance to make it 2-0. Had Helix off to the right side, but no good. Concord, for the first time in what feels like a while, retreat and concede. Joe Bro made it look easy right there. All the big saves, difficult shots ETK had to go through, that just seemed easy.
For the first time since Game 2, the scoring actually looks like it may open up for once. And hey, we're here for the chaos, and a great play regardless from the UTK side. Open net, and they'll take it.
Off kickoff, that'll be a Concord win. Ball in Helix's hands. Flip reset goes under Joe Bro, but not through Shaka and Crisp there on the goal line. Pancake just running interference, putting a hand in the face of Crisp right there, making sure he can't get access to that side wall with space in the air.
Now we see UTK almost coming together for the pinch. I thought Shaka was going to take that as a solo play, something that would have surprised me, but Crisp using the backboard, almost getting over ET, but that rock that he's been for this team still stays solid.
Good demo there, Joe Bro giving ET a taste of his own medicine. That one felt personal, but Concord hold on to possession. Pancake, I don't think got enough boost to stick with that double, so ET's alone in defense. UTK, demo hunting now. Helix bumped into the back of his net. Shaka, though, can't nail the shot, and so UTK forced to retreat despite a frantic counterattack forward.
For some teams, it ruins them. For some teams, it strengthens them. The demo meta in Rocket League is prevalent in this game, and so far, both teams just finding every way possible to avoid them. What happened to the third man of Concord?
We'll find out. Credit of the old credit of the replay system in Rocket League. So we would have missed that triple commit had replays not been a thing in Rocket League. Instead, we got to see what is one of the most egregious triples I've seen in a while.
I mean, all three players were on the right side of the ball, just under it. So, hey, you got to respect the aggressiveness, but unfortunately, it will bite them.
You got to recover from it, though. Can't let it tilt them too much. Crisp, almost allowed it to get into the heads of Concord as they would have been down by 2 goals following that triple. Instead, able to slowly work their way out of defense. Helix, awkward, calls Pancake into the mix, and with little boost in the tank, finds the ball through the corner, and Helix finding a demo and a bump on Crisp, but UTK still get a way out.
I mean, Helix might just give the entire lobby ADHD with how constantly he focuses on the ball. He always is finding a way to get a demo, to get a bump, to get a touch, to get a redirect. He will name every mechanic in the book of Rocket League. But UTK, they got some in their bag of their own. Close play, though.
Another Helix redirect becoming a signature play. Gonna be watching for it on LAN this weekend. That's a miss from Shock off the back wall. Concord not quite there though, weren't expecting it. Instead they back off, wait for Crisp's clear, and reset with a stout defense.
A fun point about this UTK roster is I don't think since SEL playoffs in the fall, I've never seen them take the defensive route. And I don't think they're going to change their play style, but with the new challenger entering the Rocket League arena, you wonder if they're going to change it. And so far, a fake may just force them to play defensive anyways. 2 misses come out. Pancake, 100 boost, but a massive bump from Chris.
I mean, UTK, they're missing a lot of opportunities to clear the zone defensively, so they're going to back off. They have to clean that up. Instead, creativity gets them out. Concord's been using it this entire series, getting creative with bumps and chips and passes like that. Helix going for another redirect underneath the ball. Doesn't make contact though. Instead, the ball popped towards the UTK net. No harm done though.
15 seconds of such quick possession from Concord goes away, but they are still on the ball, still with boost. Shaka backwards, gonna find his way to that one. 20 seconds left. Joe gets over one, still needs to stall, finds his way over the next. Shaka trying to find a teammate who will be met by ET. And Joe is there, almost looking like Helix just on the ball. And now Pancake trying to find him. As I say his name, he almost hits the signature. But now it looks like that if things, I don't see a Concord player in sight, that 50 will hit the ground. UTK tying it up.
2-2, but that was about as close as the last 2 overtime games that we saw. Concord, though, having the script flipped on them. 3 shots to UTK's 8 that time around. But Helix's redirect counter has got to be a lot higher than Concord's shot counter, that's for sure.
I hope that someone in stream is somewhat taking notes of that. I know we have a lot of UTK fans, but we need some more fun counters like that. I mean, hey, I see Sarah in chat. That'd be a good graphic for the UTK side, but Concord trying to plaster this win and cross their history books. This would be a massive upset, and they find themselves basically in a best-of-3 to end the night off.
And I don't feel like this is a must-win for Concord. At the moment, they are playing UTK close enough that as long as they keep their nerve, they don't get too tired from playing 2 full best-of-7s plus warm-up, earlier, then they honestly could win 2 straight in a Game 6 and Game 7 scenario. So normally against UTK, this kind of spot for an underdog, I would say they got to win. But I don't think it's the case here for Concord.
I don't think either team is threatened, and Chris for sure isn't. Not a Concord defender in sight, wide open net.
Helix goes as the third man. That's par for the course with how he plays the game of Rocket League. And this time, he loses the challenge at the midfield line. Shaka gets the ball to Crisp, and that's 1-0. UTK starting off on the right foot.
Our quickest goal of the series after UTK finds their second win of the series. So far, so good if you're a Vol fan. But Concord, like you said, Bepic, not counted out by any means. I don't think this is a must-win for either team, but it's almost like they're forgetting that we have $2,500 on the line tomorrow at BBB. But nonetheless, they just need to take it goal by goal, minute by minute. Ceiling reset to pass is what Jobber might do instead, but not gonna.
Oh, Shaka! What? He's given Crisp an opportunity to score it, but Shaka's been a little off, it feels like, today. He has missed some defensive clears, missed an offensive read there. Helix forcing misses out of UTK, got through 2 defenders and for that boost grab, but Crisp was able to secure it, which he'll use now in the air, sticking with that challenge win, calling Jobro off, and now Shaka, third man up, dusting Helix right there, and UTK can look to add on to their lead.
The average viewer may not find pleasure in that one, but an absolute dust from Shaka severely decreases the momentum as a trade demo comes through, and now we'll see ET try to be Crisp, does read it, does hover well, but now Joe's got room. He will actually be met by ET, but that's a really rough redirect. Is somebody there? Both other defenders are not going to make it. It's been a long night, y'all, and UTK, it's getting longer by the minute holding this 1-goal lead.
I mean, Cumberland and Concord both start with C. They both have similar university colors. I don't blame you for that one. They're both playing solid Rocket League today. Cumberland won earlier. Concord, they're able to find a comeback here, put themselves in a great spot to win today, but Crisp's not missing that. We've seen a lot of backboard misreads from UTK, but he makes that one happen. Those Helix still afforded a second opportunity. Gets the ball to ET, who slams it off the post. And Concord was so close to leveling us up there.
You don't see that every day, but Concord's not done just yet. Pancake, backboard, but not enough boost. But Helix just has to tap it. And again, thank God we have replay, because I completely missed where the UTK third man went.
Pancake misses, or gets the ball past the first, and Shaka was still rotating back. I think Crisp was doing the same, and neither one got to the goal line in time, so it's just a slow roller across the line of UTK's net. Concord tying us up.
Similar to the goal that Helix had lost earlier. Just that third man a little too far up and a massive double touch in the midfield for Shaka. Starting to get a little more in his bag and trying to find his teammates, and it's looking dangerous when they start to merge like this, but Cons are a little off for now.
Oh, Shaka doing it himself, but ET flies back like Superman to make that one happen. Big block for Concord to keep UTK at bay, and now Concord counter. Going to be stopped by Shaka on the near side. Crisp is going to find a clear over the midfield line. Shaka's missing boost. It's a little awkward, a little frantic right now in Game 5. That's a miss from Crisp, and I complimented him making those reads typically, but the whiff bug has caught him.
Yeah, the whiff bug of LAN. This is the reason these teams play on Friday night, is to get all the jitter out of their gameplay. And so far, these teams exchanging blows, looking good. Maybe not in LAN form just yet, as this could be a likely matchup in playoffs, as would be a great one to see, as so far this one continues to deliver.
No kidding. I mean, this is the 5 seed versus the 2 seed right now. That's how close that the Bluegrass Boost Battle has gotten this year. I mean, for $2,500, you would expect fierce competition, and right now, this is just a show match between 2 of the top competitors. So I'm very eager to see what happens this week. I'm eager to see what happens at the end of Game 5 right now, as Concord chance to take the lead again. But Shaka gets that read. Crisp misses. The turn from Helix over to ET. Good. Concord takes the lead.
They find each other with a very quick touch from ET. Helix with a bump. We've made that call plenty of times, but then he turns around and finds ET, who just simply trusts his teammate, will put it where it needs to be. Massive change of pace.
The first man up for Concord's counterattacks is not afraid to just stick around in the UTK end. Usually it's Helix, but Pancake and ET have definitely done a similar thing where they just, wait a second, see where that next challenge is going. And right there it pays off, it catches UTK out, and in the final 45 seconds, they're the ones down a goal.
And that's the special thing about Concord is that
Oh.
this pressure can feel suffocating as they're already on the offensive end. Crisp though, massive touch, corner, Joe is Shaka there, no!
He hung back for whatever reason right there, as there was no one for Concord back. An opening thrown by the wayside for UTK's offense, and they try again. 20 seconds to go. Crisp finds a clear. No boost grab for him. Instead of pass to Shaka. 50-51. Joe Bro not there to commit, however. ET on the back wall. Making the read. Faking that second touch. UTK so close in the waning moments to developing a shot. But it'll have to happen on 0 seconds. Instead, Helix steals that ball. And Concord takes game 5.
I would have loved to see the insurance goal, even though it wouldn't have mattered, but this is what is so special about Concord. That first man, like we mentioned, not afraid to stay up, and it leads to shot after demo, after redirect. You never know what to expect, and if you hang around that back line, you're never going to be seen by the opposing team. UTK has to make a change in their awareness, and they have to make it now.
I think right now, TJ, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask you a similar one at the end of this series. Have your predictions changed?
I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to go to my laptop as soon as this series ends, regardless of UTK wins the next 2 or not. I'm going to change it right now, live on Friday Night Lights. I'm changing Concord to win 3-2 over USC to take the first seed in their group, and it's almost because of shots like this.
Well, if they play like this, if they play like they did against Buds at Georgia State, and South Carolina isn't on point tomorrow, I'm with you right there. We'll see what happens. Right now, UTK fighting from behind, need 2 straight games. They're going to take this best of 7 the night before BBB when it really isn't so quiet.
Shaka going for a psycho with no boost, and it almost cost them an early goal. 30 seconds in, and again, Concord, fresh off the pressure, Pancake, flip it, cook it, score it.
What a shot! Pancake had 100 boost, a whole lot of time and space, and he picked that ball up like it weighed nothing. What an opening goal from Concord. What a showing from Pancake to open up game 6. Wow.
It's similar to Shaka on UTK. We don't see them in the first or second man roll that often, but then we see him again, massive dunk over 2, but for once I didn't see Helix or ET up there.
Crisp 50-50 stays neutral, and Shaka and Jobro a little on top of each other right there. That's going to make the defense awkward for UTK, but Crisp gets back in time to set himself up off the side wall. He has a little bit of boost, finds a shot. ET finds a save.
UT, ET, it's all just such a garbled mess in the midfield right now that we don't even know what we're looking at. But what we do know is Concord is starting to build a little bit of pressure again, and that sentence normally follows with a goal, but UTK might flip the script. We'll see Crisp trying to dunk one, Helix not getting the double. The third man doesn't come in quick enough. Now Joe by his lonesome, Helix rushing in, but not enough boost.
Soft touch though. Dobro was just forced to dump that ball off because he had nothing in the tank. Crisp redirection center, and Shaka was slammed over towards the side wall. Crisp is trying to salvage that offensive for the Volunteers, but it's no good. Jobro and Shaka again kind of on top of each other. Concord is making UTK play awkward again with their speed and precision right now.
Pressure makes diamonds, and the mascot of UTK may not be so, but they're trying to form them tonight. These are the moments that you look back in VOD review, that you look back at predictions, at LAN highlights, and you say, this is the moment where a team flipped. UTK looking for theirs, as again, they got a 2v1, ET awkward, ball goes middle, Helix quick flick, oh my god, Concord, don't do it to him!
How was he ready for that? How was Helix ready for that? Out of everything that transpired out in front of the Concord net, Helix is still somehow in an aggressive defensive position up the field already. The ball just leaks out to him, and he is gifted a second goal for Concord.
Gifted the goal and gifted the talent to turn around and immediately be there. And UTK starting to pick up the pace a little bit, maybe a little bit out of their comfort zone, but it's looking good so far. Big bump, Crisp may play the bump off his teammate. Pancake does get bumped by Shaka. Crisp says, thank you very much.
I was just starting to think that so far, in the last several games, UTK's offense has looked seriously one-dimensional. Just a player up with the ball, looking to make space with individual mechanics, maybe go for a pass that usually gets cut out by Concord. But right there, they finally mixed some extra spice into their offensive recipe. The bump on the goal line was perfect, but ET, massive 50-50, sets up Helix for another 2-goal lead out of Concord.
ET just simply the bigger player phoning home for his teammate, and who better to be there, and who better to somehow read through that mess than Helix.
3-1, Concord not phased by the opening goal in Game 6 out of UTK. Off kickoff, Joe's going to play the ball off the sidewall right back to Crisp. He's got nothing in the tank, so he just lobs a shot at ET, which with how ET's been playing on the goal line for Concord, that is an easy save for him. 2 minutes left. Concord's still up by 2.
And we mentioned this in the earlier series, and though these are grudge matches, they are still important. Every ticking second down feels like it's moving twice as fast. And Concord, even though they have the lead and they have the win arguably in the bag, they are still not playing defense. That is what's so dangerous about this team, and you hope that it won't cost them. But so far, they look good. Crisp, psycho attempt, not gonna fall. ET bottom side, saved by Shaka.
He's got a chance to clear here, but no boost. Again, in the tank, and ET steals that one out from underneath the UTK ref. And that feels like the story of UTK's offense. A lot of opportunities to clear the zone and put together a powerful counterattack, but just no boost in the tank. Joe Bro, he had 0 right there. The chain dashes looked fancy, but he had no boost and was forced to do that.
And almost did have the challenge, but chalked the last one, and just like that, the offense drains out, and Helix has the chance to maybe stun a little bit. The fake, maybe intentional, but didn't look so.
That's a clear for Shaka. Through the corner. A demo going to make things weird for Concord. Helix, though, playing it right up into the air. Sets up a shot saved by Pancake. More goal line brilliance out of Concord. And Shaka, off the back wall, going to be scoring, taking away that brilliance.
Whether it's Monday night or Friday night, you know that the action on this channel will provide. It might not have been in, but regardless, we find ourselves with 1 minute left. UTK, backs against the wall, need a goal to tie it up and need it soon.
I wasn't certain right there if that was Shocker or not. I took a risk, and unfortunately for both me and Helix, that was him on the back wall making a defensive error. So he's going to try and make up for it. Popping the ball up for Pancake. Pancake has looked real good the last couple of games, very on point, especially offensively. I think back to that scoop and score to either open up the scoring here or it might have been a goal in the previous game. Either way, UTK's got numbers. They got a shot. That's a bit too high and short of being on target, so Concord get out once more.
Numbers, but forced and awkward in a wide open net. Helix misses it. What might have been the clear insurance goal. Now ET has to put it in, gets the bump instead. Last 10 seconds, UTK lies on the line in the show match. Crisp has to counter. ET, absolute heart of steel. Also passing to Helix, and UTK has to get something, but they won't. Concord, what a game.
4-2. Concord take down the number 2 seeded team going into BBB tomorrow. And TJ, I'm starting to think your answer is going to be the same when I ask you if your predictions are really changing.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, UTK 4-0 is their group. I'm still riding with them. Concord, again, I'm switching it. Originally, I had them winning very closely over UAH, and then losing very closely against USC and putting themselves right in the middle of that top 3. But I just don't see how you can disagree with this performance. Now, granted, USC, extremely talented team, and I'm sure we will talk about them plentiful on a possible pre-show tomorrow. But I just don't see how you can disagree with it. I got Concord taking the 1 seed in that group instead. I'm going to change it 3-2 them over USC.
Man, and what's funny is I originally had South Carolina playing Concord on one of these matches, but South Carolina's driving right now, so they weren't able to come tonight. So maybe a little bit of recency bias, catapulting Concord over South Carolina in our minds, but what we just saw was impressive. And UTK, they just showed everybody, not them, Concord showed everybody how to beat UTK.
Yeah, undeniably. I mean, with a player like Helix, This is something that I completely glossed over in my research. I'm very familiar with ET, have played against him, have worked with him before. He knows how to work a program, and how about combining his leadership with the absolute raw talent of Helix and even Pancake, who may fall back into the second fiddle role, but so far he's the main lead.
All right, that takes us to the end of a crazy Friday Night Lights before the Bluegrass Boost Battle tomorrow, which is going to be on the University of Kentucky's Twitch channel, so watch it, like, all weekend. It's going to be peak Rocket League. If you thought that was entertaining, that's what it's going to be like on LAN out of the Lexington, Kentucky facility. So, we're going to say goodnight for now, but we will see you tomorrow when you tune in for BBB. TJ, thanks for joining me in the booth here.
Of course.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you another time. See you tomorrow. Peace out.